Yeah.
So I watched Lord of the Rings recently, and I've been excited.
Oh my God. Where did you get those?
I have extra for you if you want to wear them. I got them next day on Amazon. I really liked Lord of the Rings.
Oh my God.
I didn't have time to get Legolas merch.
Well, I'm glad you like it. Is that gonna work with those?
You
gotta go fast.
You can't see them, but I could do this and just have one ear, which doesn't really help.
Well,
I didn't even bother testing my levels. Just a moment. It took me. Okay, there we go. It took me like 15 minutes. No, it took me 7 minutes to put the ears on the first time.
How do they? Like, do they just like hook on behind your ears?
Yeah. So like here I can. So like, they look like this, but like just looking at it, I had no idea how to put it on my head.
Oh, gotcha.
So I was trying to do this, and I'm like, no. Like, I don't do well with like 3D puzzles.
Right.
I recognize that about myself, but then like once I figured it out, I was like, oh, I'm in.
Yeah.
And like these were $7. And
for 2 pairs.
Mm-hmm, and I bought a Camelback and a 100-foot Ethernet cable so that I could get it here yesterday.
Oh, I was like, is that part of the?
Yeah,
outfit?
it is. So you guys can't see it too much, but Elf Steve's here. Elf Steve isn't queer. He might be. I don't know. Get over it. What are my pronouns? Gondor. Not Roshar. That's the other Stormlight Archive. Rohan.
The writers of Rohan.
I have so many fucking opinions about the Lord of the Rings.
I'm ready. I haven't watched them in a long time.
Okay,
but I do love them.
You've seen them recently because every. How do I express this? So I have seen all 3 movies in movie theaters.
Okay.
Never finished a single one. Because I was young.
Okay.
And they put me to sleep. Too much action puts me to sleep.
Oh, you went to sleep. Okay. I was like, did you run out of the theater?
I was like, I can't know how it ends. His story can't end here. I'm like, where, Master Frodo, no. And I was like, I'll take it to Hobbitgard or Eisenshire. No,
they're taking
Mordor.
the hobbits to Isengard.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Frodo is taking the ring.
I was
Mordor.
last week years old when I found out that the Uruk-hai
Yeah.
are just like weird, fucked up, like mutated orcs that Saruman made.
Well,
like that, are they actually a real race that can reproduce, or are they just?
It's not exactly made clear, and Saruman didn't actually invent them. Saruman just made his own. But there also were Uruk-hai
because they have his white hand.
Those ones do, yeah.
Which is basically kind of just derivative of My Hero Academia with the one villain with the hand on his face, but whatever.
I mean, well, all anime goes back to that Britney Spears music video. So, I mean, like,
toxic.
Know your history.
Or are you talking about Genie in a Bottle?
No, she did that one. I literally don't know what song it is.
Genie in a Bottle is by Christina Aguilera.
No, I know that. It's that one where it's like an anime. I don't know.
Hello Kitty, Avril Lavigne.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No. Yeah. No. Like the Uruk-hai are technically like their own thing. Like Sauron.
They're their own. They're like Peter or David as pumpkins.
Yeah.
I'm also barefoot today, like a little hobbit man.
That's a choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So ask me any question about it, and I will tell you my opinion or answer.
Which one was your favorite?
This is a very easy question. I can't believe you would leave with something like this.
I'm starting simple.
2 Towers.
It is the best.
Absolutely, hands down the best.
And why is it the best?
The Ents. The Ents are the best part of the entire fucking thing.
Although only when they actually like start to do stuff.
No, they were gold from the get-go. I thoroughly enjoyed. It felt like, I'll send this to you because it's actually like interesting. There's this old school DM that I watch on YouTube called Matthew Colville, and he has like a lot of like DM like guides, like as in just like running different things because he's been he actually worked for Turtle Rock Studios, who made Mercenaries 2. He was a writer on that. I don't know if that was the same studio. He's written a lot of he's actually worked in video games and whatnot. Evolution, Was one where there's the big monster things that never really
yeah.
went anywhere, but not because the game was
Evolve.
bad. Evolve, that's what it was. He worked on that. I wanted to
play that game because I was like, they kind of build it as like, it's like Left 4 Dead, but with monsters, and then it was weird.
Yeah. I never got around to playing it, but I watched a video.
Yeah, I never ended up playing it either.
Anyway, so he has this really good video where he talks about, and it got me at first, where he talks about some friends sitting down to play a D&D game and talks about like how they all want to be certain characters and then like it changes. And it took me a bit longer than it should have to realize that his characters, Elijah, Vigo, and whatnot, as like a D&D story, because obviously a lot of D&D is inspired by like a lot of the common fantasy tropes. Mm-hmm. So I now have this, like, I knew everything that was going to happen.
Right.
When I watched it, like nothing was a surprise because I've just played a lot of D&D and I know a lot of story beats.
Yeah.
And I called stuff out sooner. There was actually some things that I was like, oh, is it going to like do this? And it's like, no. And I was like, oh, okay.
It's because it was like the first one. There was nothing for it to subvert.
Yeah.
It was like...
No, it was the original. Well, and that's why I realized I'm like, I can't like sit here and say it's derivative of the things that derive from it.
Yeah.
You know, but kind of.
It's primary.
It is. Why is there that weird like saturation? It's got a weird hue to it. It never looks like... Maybe it's just because it was from 2001, but I can't imagine that's the case. Like, anytime they're in like they're not in an open field, and even in an open field, it's almost like there's this weird filter on that makes it feel like it's somewhere else. I don't know how to describe it. I have to pull it. We have to put it on the TV later.
Yeah, I noticed. I don't know.
Now that I've mentioned it, you're probably going to notice.
I don't know. I know
it
that
doesn't look bad.
I know that they used like different kinds of no, that was The Hobbit where they used like special cameras.
Mm-hmm.
The Hobbit, they like
the movie looks old.
Yeah,
but like
I think that was intentional though.
Like that's what I was thinking, is that as if you were reading it out of the book. This is like, you know, like if a show or cartoon does like reading this olden story and it's got like the sepia filter or whatever on it. It's kind of like that, where everything's like it's not sharp. It's very like blur, like blurred surroundings a bit. It's the best way.
Yeah, I know they.
I don't know how to describe it.
I know
you see it in Rivendell a lot.
Yeah, I know they used a particular kind of camera because like
maybe it was a focusing thing too.
Yeah, because like I've watched the making of more recently than I've watched the movies because like I find that part more interesting almost. And so I know like they used like particular cameras and stuff, so maybe that was part of it.
Yeah,
because I know that like that's definitely not how The Hobbit feels. The Hobbit feels almost like not cartoonish, but like I forgot to turn it off again. But like too modern. Like I don't know. It feels well.
I'm very curious if the two things, like your thing and my thing, are actually opposites of each other. On like, in because we might be having the same issue on different ends of the pole.
I think part of what makes The Hobbit also look kind of almost like sillier or more like fanciful. I think it's kind of like the abuse of CGI though. So maybe that's more what I'm like thinking of.
Yeah,
with The Hobbit. I don't know.
I'd have to. It's background stuff. It's not foreground stuff that I'm upset about. Like,
I haven't watched them in long enough. I can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, the Ents were fucking cool. Treebeard was a badass. I never knew that Merry and Pippin were actually important to the story. But they were fucking dope as fuck.
Yeah.
Frodo is meh.
He's annoying.
You want to love Frodo, and I just can't, because Samwise Gamgee is the truest hero.
Yeah.
And he did deserve more than the few pages that Frodo left for him. And that's the real tea.
I mean, he still got to go into like, you know, like elf heaven or whatever. So,
yeah, so I can go fuck all the elf milfs?
So he got his in the end. Yeah, because his wife didn't get to go.
Oh, that's right. Well, no, wait. Who are you talking about?
Sam.
Wait, Sam gets to go?
Yeah. I don't think they show it in the movie, but in the book, at the very end of his life, he's actually like the last
invited. Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, but his wife doesn't get to go. I don't think. I don't.
Because he's going on one more adventure. Because it's like not like heaven, right? They're going to a plane of existence where they're like blood doesn't kill them.
Yeah,
it's what I decided to take as it.
It's kind of heaven. It's kind of just like immortality. Like it's supposed to be like where they came from. So like where like the Iluvatar came from. So, well, not the Iluvatar. The Valar. I don't know. It's again like
Yeah.
in a book shit. It's kind of like heaven.
I have a Silmarillion thoughts about this. Yeah.
Except, well, it's not like heaven because I don't think it's supposed to be like a reward. It's just you live forever there. So
that's what happens when elves are done.
Yeah.
Which apparently they could just go at any time.
They can, and that's where they had like come from.
Mm-hmm. I would know. I'm an elf.
Yeah. And then they ended up like on Middle Earth. I can't remember why. There's some Tolkien fan who's screaming at us.
Yeah,
right
I'm
now.
sure. I'm ready for the discourse. I mean, I have some hotter takes.
Hit me with a hot take.
Well, I want you to ask me the right questions.
I don't have any good questions.
What do you think what did you think I would like about the movies? Because you didn't believe I had never seen them all. And I also fell asleep during part of Return of the King and had to I woke up after some more boring shit.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure made Faramir more interesting, but he bored me.
Yeah, he Boromired you.
I don't want to talk about Boromir. Boromir is a shitty character. And anyone who didn't see him betraying them from the moment he said, "My name's Boromir."
But then he unbetrayed them.
Not really.
Yeah, he did. At the very end.
I'm sorry I almost killed you, but I guess I'll protect you because
yeah.
I'm not going to let them take it.
Yeah.
And if we survive, then I can take it again. It's the whole thing of if you don't do this, I'll kill you. It's or I do it and you still kill me anyway. It's
but it
pragmatic.
takes longer to die.
And Boromir was just fucking at no point, because I immediately was he's gonna betray. It's the whole thing is it's why men only want power, very ham-fisted. Yes, we get it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they give a shit about. And and the elves are over here we got to take this ghost pussy somewhere else. And I've been talking about Hugo Weaving, the dad elf.
Yeah.
The DILF.
He has ghost pussy?
Yeah. I'm sure he's slamming ghost pussy or ghost dog. No, he must have ghost pussy because he's got a daughter, Arwen.
Yeah.
Who's hot as fuck. You know who's more hot than Arwen, though?
Liv Tyler looks exactly the same as she did in that movie.
Oh my god, it is Liv Tyler. I don't know why I thought it was Evangeline Lilly. It would have been cooler if it was.
Isn't she in The Hobbit?
I have no idea. She's in Lost.
I think she's in The Hobbit. I think she's the other elf. I think she's the woodland elf.
Oh, how fucking funny!
That they
okay, cool.
That they made
we
up.
need a hot elf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They literally made her up.
Oh, for The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dumb. I read The Hobbit.
Yeah, they wanted because the Hobbit movies also pulls from the Silmarillion a little bit and the other tales and everything.
But where's Tom Bombadil?
Yeah, but then they just ended up inventing this elf character.
He could have walked into Mordor, couldn't he? Tom Bombadil.
Yeah.
Or Bombadil. He's the most powerful character in the entirety of Middle Earth.
Pretty much, and he's never explained.
It's just a matter of if he wanted to do it, he could.
Yeah, but
he's like Paul Bunyan
because he's just kind of there, Paul Bunyan.
Yeah,
Paul Bunyan could walk into Mordor.
Paul Bunyan could do anything,
and he's got baby.
He woke up when he was born. They fed him so many eggs because he was so hungry.
He ate with his whole mouth.
He did. Boromir's fucking trash. That elf was hot.
That elf.
Arwen. Arwen was hot. The boy elf that comes to help them, who just looks like the guy from American Pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's his name?
Which I guess he dies. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Centurion
I must have I was
shit.
really stoned when I watched all three movies. I got fucking blitzed all weekend.
He dies at Helm's Deep, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I only know that because this morning I read through the synopses of all three movies to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Which is where I realized I did miss about 30 minutes of Return of the King, but it didn't change anything.
Yeah.
The whole giving him the blade and everything.
Oh.
I will say I really liked Viggo's character, Strider, Aragorn. Mm-hmm. Aragorn was cool. It was definitely that trope. And all I can think about is you started this thing where everyone wants to be a ranger. And then Wizards of the Coast is Ranger sucks. And then they're hey, we have a revised ranger on the Unearthed Arcana. And it's this is so much better. Are you going to do it? And they're
no.
They're fuck you.
Do you know the scene with...
Oh, the future lady.
Galadriel?
Galadriel. She's a fucking stunner.
Yeah.
She gave that elf 3 locks of her hair.
Dwarf.
What did I call him?
Elf.
Yeah, short elf.
Small elf.
And then there's pretty dwarf.
Yeah.
Which is Legolas.
Yeah.
Legolas.
In the scene where they find Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli, they find the
ASMR. The kid I was playing online that said that like this game's gay.
Yeah.
To his friend who was also with him as they were squeaking, said like, "I wonder if they're gonna like ASMR." And I'm like, I just want to get my V-Bucks and get out.
In the scene where they think Merry and Pippin are dead.
Replacement for stupid.
Where they they find like the burning corpses and everything.
Oh wait, what?
Remember that?
What is this? Is it Return of the King?
I think it's in Two Towers.
They find what?
They're looking for Merry and Pippin.
Oh yeah, that's where they run into the forest.
Taken away.
Yeah.
And so then they find like this like pile of burning corpses because they find the orc and he's like, yeah, we just burned everything. No, the writers of Rohan are like, we just burned everything.
The exiles, Rohan.
Yeah.
Or the Rohanim.
Yes. Rohirrim. Yeah. Roto-Rooter, that's the name. I know way go troubles down the drain. No, and he like Aragorn, like Vigo, he like kicks the helmet and then he like goes like, ah,
yeah,
does like angry mad yell.
Oh,
then,
that's
like,
the Wilhelm scream, isn't it?
No, he just like screams and like seemingly in frustration. It's because when he kicked the helmet, he broke his toe.
Yeah, it's a Wilhelm scream, from what I understand. Like that's an actual thing.
I know what a Wilhelm scream is.
But that's what you're just saying. That's what that was. It was a real scream.
No, when he like kicks it, he kicks the helmet.
Yeah,
and he screams as though he's like mad.
Yeah,
it's not because he was mad. It's because he just broke his toe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and they kept it.
Yeah.
Cool.
You were saying this was tying back to when you were talking about Vigo.
I'm like, this is great, I guess. I'm like, I know what you're about to say. And you're like, I know you know, but...
I didn't know you do. I was tying back to when you were talking about Viggo Mortensen.
What about him?
That was it. You said he was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was he not good by breaking his toe?
No, I was just giving you a fun fact.
Oh. Do you have any other ones?
No. Oh. Not a single other one.
Was there anything else that was good about the movies? When Bilbo yells and he does like a wow in Rivendell, I'm like, that's spoopy.
I didn't like that when I was a kid.
I loved that. I love now that I understand the meme. I've seen like this like Tumblr post about how like Gandalf was kind of like an asshole for making everyone run from the Balrog so that he could get all the party XP and like level up.
Yeah.
Which I also didn't really understand how he became Gandalf the White.
He's like reincarnated.
But okay. Like it was just like this happens and I'm like, cool.
Well, it's like the gods just kind of did it.
Yeah. But like it also didn't really make sense. Like he was friends with Sauron or Saruman. Mm-hmm. But now he's not. Like, they are no longer friends.
Yeah, because Saruman betrayed what he was supposed to do.
They did not make that clear to me.
They didn't make it clear that Saruman became evil?
No, he seemed evil the whole time.
Oh, yeah, no, he was good.
I mean, you cast Christopher Lee, like...
I mean, you gotta get what
like, the guy looks evil. I'm sorry, R.I.P.
When he talks evil.
Well, yeah.
Like, there
Count
was...
Dooku.
Yeah.
Dookie.
Well, even in, like, The Hobbit, which is supposed to take place, like, well before, like, Christopher Lee is still chewing the fucking scenery and making himself look evil. And I'm like, you're supposed to be pretending to be good at that point.
Oh, my God. Like, relax, dude.
Yeah, but...
Also, Grima Wormtongue.
Nasty.
Who looks like he just rolled out of a fucking Little Caesars. Covered in grease.
After rolling in the grease.
And they're like, he couldn't be evil. And I'm like...
Are you kidding me?
With my own Legolas, with your elvish eyes, what do you see? And he's like, I see a bitch. Like,
yeah,
that's some fucking bullshit. Like, that's the part where I was like,
was anyone really like not thinking he was evil though?
No, everyone did, but like, why no one ever did anything about it?
Well, because he was like the king's right hand man, and the king was protecting him.
Yeah, just kill him, and then the king would be fine.
But because the king then would kill them.
Also, why did Pippin have to look at the... Or no, Merry... No, was it Merry or Pippin that looked at the orb? I think it's Pippin looks at the orb.
Pippin.
Yeah.
He looks in the Palantir.
Little Pip. R.I.P. Rip little Pip.
Rip little Pip.
He looked in the thing and sees the eye, which I also guess was just like Sauron's soul. Also, having Sauron and then Saruman are two terrible names. Mm-hmm. Don't do that.
But that way, like, if it starts with Sar, it's bad.
Yeah, but that's so stupid.
I don't think that's why it was named.
I'm like, I would get them confused all the time. They're like Sauron's forces, Sauron's forces. I'm like, Sauron is an eye.
Well, all that matters is they're bad. If it's their forces, then like this ain't good.
I would assume the orcs with white hands on their faces
Well,
probably
yeah.
aren't good.
That's what I'm saying. Is like if
That's
they're calling
saying that
out
they
like,
want to rip and tear my flesh.
well,
They might have a good reason to. I'm not saying the Battle of Helm's Deep was wrong, but they shouldn't have gone there in the first place.
that was a good idea to go there. That's the only way they survived.
Yeah, but he didn't want to fight. He had to wait until he was behind his big walls to win, and then they still like kind of lost, and they only because they got bailed out by the riders
Well, yeah.
and the elves. Yeah, and my axe. I liked when he opened the door.
Who? When? What door?
The door in the rock.
When Gandalf opened the door to Moria?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it felt like playing D&D, where it's like all you have to say is "friend" in Elvish, and it works.
The door.
Or in Dwarvish or whatever it is. I think it was
Elvish.
Elvish.
Yeah.
And like that's it. It's a very simple puzzle that they give you the answer to, and it's like, let's spend fucking 4 hours on it. I'm like,
And fight this thing in the water.
all I could think about was how much this was just D&D. Like the entire time, I'm like, I didn't realize how much like the boys who I'm calling Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli, how much they just like bullshit around the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like those guys must have had the fucking time of their life acting it, because at no point did they ever have like real serious dialogue except for Viggo.
Yeah.
And like I was reading, apparently Viggo had never read Lord of the Rings, and like he was not their first pick by any means.
Yeah, they had to fly him in right at the very end.
They flew him in, and he decided to just read the book on the way, like on the plane, so that he could have a rough idea and like had to get a crash course in like fencing and shit.
Yeah.
But it's because like his kid really liked it. It's like, you should do it.
Yeah.
It's like, that's cool. So you could tell like, oh, I have more lines. I got to like do things. The other two are like, still that counts as one. And just like, you know, like talking shit the whole time. I'm like, this is D&D.
Yeah. But you like them in general?
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fellowship of the Ring was cool. I like the dragon part. The dragon fireworks. The fireworks part. Bilbo's annoying.
Yeah.
And I will say I like the actor they cast for him in The Hobbit, the newer one.
Oh yeah, I can't remember his
the
name.
British guy.
Yeah,
but he's funny. Like, well,
he did good. Well. He made me actually.
He's
like,
Jim
like
from The
Bilbo.
Office. He plays the Jim character in the original
Office.
Yeah, the good one. That's it.
Okay.
Wait. There was one more thing I wanted. Boromir sucks. Faramir felt pointless. The whole thing about like his dad being like, I'm not going to try to just wait for him to wake up. I'm just going to burn us alive. Felt really fucking dumb.
I didn't like, well, it's because he's crazy. I didn't like that. For some reason, like very poignantly stuck in my head is that scene where he's like eating the food and stuff. Faramir and Boromir's dad. And it's like crash zoomed on like his mouth, and there's just like
I must have slept through that part.
And it's like gross because it's supposed to make him seem gross.
Oh,
like,
gross and crazy.
Well, and like
so I missed all the character development. I just woke up for they're gonna burn him.
Yeah, no, it's meant to make him look like gross and nasty, and like, you know, like people in fucking Minas Tirith are like starving and stuff, and he's just like eating all this shit
gluttony
disgustingly,
like a king.
Yeah, and he's nasty, and he's not even a king.
No, he's not. Yeah, no, other than that, I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything else. Sam was fucking dope as shit.
Yeah.
Sam was really hardcore. Like, I hope I could be half as good as Sam. Yeah, I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. Yeah. And I'm like...
Which is also funny, though, because he did carry it.
Yeah, he's held it before. Well, I think like, it's more of, he like, this is not my task.
Right. And I mean, like, it's a great line, but it's also kind of like, you technically did carry it.
Yeah, which
when
like,
he thought you know, he was dead.
And part of me's kind of pissed that Frodo gave in at the very end.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think, well, I mean, it works because like it makes sense of like then why Gollum was there.
Yeah, well,
because like otherwise it would have been like, well, then what the fuck was all that stuff with Gollum? It like closed the loop.
I guess by him like finally, because I knew that the whole reason why he was being so like, no, let's not kill him, let's not get rid of him, is because it was a way of deflecting his own reality. That the longer I hold on to the ring, the closer I am to becoming Gollum Schmeagol.
Well,
like,
yeah, I mean it was also though because like Gandalf told him that like
it'll fuck you up.
He was talking about Gollum, and he was like, you know, like Gollum has a part to play in this. And you know the entire like fortune of this realm is going to hinge on like, you know, the fact that like Bilbo saved his life once. And so like it might come down to you saving his life. So like that was probably kind of also in his head.
Yeah.
Plus like Gollum was a little bitch.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, he would do anything.
Andy Serkis did a really good job though.
He did a really good job. That was like his first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now he just kind of like is every CGI character.
Yeah. And final thoughts. The Ents were fucking badass. They were the coolest fucking part when they decided we just got done saying hello, and I'm like, this is a wonderful like scene of brevity, and the hobbits just being like, who never have time, like they have all the time in the world, but they don't have time for Ents, and they're like, things are going down. They're like, we can't be hasty, and it's like we've decided we won't. Saruman got a bunch of your trees. The fuck he did? Came in there to start whomping some ass.
Tearing open some dams.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Yeah.
All right, is it intro time?
I think it's intro time.
I forget when we did the sync collab too. We did it a bit into this.
Yeah.
But we'll be able to watch it. We'll have to do a tiny amount of editing, but hopefully less than we did last time.
Last time we didn't do any.
Well, I just mean like you won't have to try to match sound waves.
Oh, yeah.
Which, again, apologies for our last video being the tiniest bit off, and it gets periodically worse.
Yeah.
We had to do it by eye, and
then YouTube made it worse.
YouTube absolutely
like the actual
made it worse.
video file on my computer isn't that bad. It's just like the littlest bit off.
Mm-hmm. Well, we also only watched like that beginning part. We didn't click around. Maybe it was just as bad.
We watched the end.
That's true.
And it was fine.
It was off by like a full second at the end, almost.
Yeah. I don't know. Intro time?
Yeah, intro time. Hello. Welcome.
Hi.
To the Hell Yeah podcast. A podcast where two friends have a conversation that you walked in on. Rude.
You can see yourself out.
Close the tab. Unsubscribe.
Please don't.
If you are just tuning in right now at this timestamp, hey, welcome to the podcast. We've been waiting for you.
Hi.
I'm Odie.
I'm Eric.
That's it. That's the whole show.
Thanks for coming.
I'm wearing elf ears, to be clear. This was next day aired to me. Well, I shouldn't say next day aired. They were probably just sitting at that warehouse in Phoenix. But
down in wherever.
Is that where Phoenix is? Down there?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, because that's not actually in Phoenix. It's in
we're in the metaphysical Phoenix.
It's in like Tolleson or something.
Oh, that's right. It is in Tolleson.
Yeah, it's like out on the edge of town.
Fuck yeah.
So we just went and watched Suicide Squad.
Yeah, we did. And, okay, aside from the fact that I snuck a burrito in there.
Would work.
Which was great.
Why did you leave and then come back?
I had to pee.
Oh, you peed really fast.
Yeah, I didn't want to miss a movie.
Well, yeah, I just didn't know.
I didn't bring a cup with me, so where was I supposed to pee? And also, we sat in this weird cluster where there was no one near us, but like, we all wanted to get primo, but we didn't want to all be in a line.
Not, like, right in the middle.
Because I was like, I don't want to have two people directly behind us and two people directly in front of us. Because like, if it's like a work email or something, like that's why I checked and I was like, tried to do it real discreetly just to make sure that like, it's not an emergency that I need to go like leave the theater to answer. Yeah. So, because we definitely did it during work hours.
Just a little bit.
Just a tiny bit. Like, I mean, I typically dip at like 3 anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you start work earlier, then...
Yeah, I start work at like 10.
There you go.
I mean, I'm in my meeting. Oh, yeah. So, Taylor calls me. I have a meeting at 7:30. Uh-huh. And I stayed up late last night, just dicking around. Not doing anything of importance. I've been playing Dark Souls 2 on my own, post-stream. And I wake up at 7:25 because I have a meeting at 7:30. And I'm not getting paid to be up before then.
Work from home.
And I don't have to talk for the first 15 minutes most times. So that gives me enough time to check and see if there's anything that I'm going to have to answer.
I'm assuming they don't do cameras.
No, sorry. Well, my boss and Jesus does.
Okay.
I do occasionally. A lot of times it's just because like I just rolled out of bed.
Yeah.
And I'm not like dressed appropriately, like in a collared shirt. But then like I'm the only one who gets given shit about not having it because I have like the fake background of me in the meat aisle at the supermarket. And so like they'll laugh and like make fun of me for not having it. But I'm like, you guys don't give anyone else shit. I'm like, I know you're not getting Danny or Patrick to open it up and do it. Like, whatever. Yeah. Fuck you guys. Yeah, so Taylor calls me. I know this is totally derailing from the Suicide Squad bit, but I want to do this real quick because then I'm going to hand it over to you and I'll let you lead.
Okay.
I think you're ready. We've been training.
I'm going to make a leader out of you.
Stop! I have so many thoughts. She calls me and I'm like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, what the fuck does she need? Yeah. I'm like, I'm trying to be asleep. It was actually 7:23 because I knew I had 2 minutes. And that's what made me more mad. Right. Was that it wasn't before my alarm. I still woke up at 5:45 and 6:45 when those alarms went off and then snoozed them.
Turned them up.
Yeah, because I don't want to hear it.
No.
It wasn't to wake up. It was to prepare me to let me know that waking up is happening soon.
Right.
Get up, acknowledge, go back to sleep. Power mode. So she's like, hey, I need to ask a huge favor of you. And I'm like, yeah, what's up? She's like, so
can you go back to bed.
I'm stranded. Or she was like, Brandon had to go like help his dad with something and like stranded me. And I'm assuming they didn't have both cars in some capacity or keys or something or something like, I'm like, you guys have 2 cars. Why the fuck do you need like me? And she was like, do you think you could drive me to my orthodontist appointment? I was like, fuck, what time's your orthodontist appointment? She's like, it's at 8. And I'm like, yeah, we could. I'm like, I'll have to like, just like call into my meeting in the car. And like, which I've been given shit about before, but I'm like, most of the time it's like, I'm on the way back from my doctor's because I make my doctor's appointments at like 6:40 in the morning.
They let you do that?
Mm-hmm. That's the first appointment of the day. Technically, the doctor's office doesn't open until 7, but like they have people there already from like 6:30. Oh. So by like coming in at 6:40, I typically don't get seen until 6:50.
Yeah, or even 6 or even 7. But like if I actually get there like right on time, it tends to be like, let's go. I might have to wait for a nurse to show up, but like I get seen. My appointment is literally 5 minutes saying, "You doing good?" And I'm like, "I'm good." And they're like, "Great." And so now we're getting them changed to just once every 6 months instead of once every 3 months. Yeah. So nice. Which saves me like $60 a visit. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, no problem. Like, where's it at? She goes, so you're going to hate me. My orthodontist office is near the office. And I'm like, this is all going on in my head. Zuki is clawing at the door. Mm-hmm. So I have to get up and open it regardless. Yeah. Because he bites my feet and my face, and he's a dickhead, and I got to throw him out. Yeah. My cat. My 4-year-old son, Zuki. He bites. Maybe because you named him Zuki. Yeah. Zuki Tanuki with the 3-month sub. And I'm like, I need to shower and get dressed. I'm like, but if I drive you, I'm not going into the office. Right. But how do I ride away the next 2 hours of my day? Yeah. Because, honey, because I was trying to like tell her without saying it that like there's no fucking way you're getting to your orthodontist appointment on time. By 8, yeah. Absolutely not. Like it would take us 40 minutes leaving at 7:15. Right. 45 minutes to an hour. And that's like a good day. Although stuff could be different now. It is a little bit. But not much. But still, you'd be cutting it impossible. If you really wanted to get to like our work early, you got to leave at 6:30, because then you just coast the whole way. Yeah, on all the freeways and everything. Anyway, you're still getting there way too early, but it's like because if you wait even a few minutes. Well, yeah, it's that thing of it's like if I leave at 6:30, I'll be there at 7. If I leave at 6:45, I'll be there at 7:30. You know, so it's like a big difference. Yeah. Which is 15 minutes, but like in traffic, it sucks. So more than that. That's like you'd get there at 30 minutes later. Mm-hmm. She goes, well, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess. Like, I'm like, I'm not fucking getting dressed. I'm like, this is a lot. I'm already like, I have a Monster in my fridge. I'm like popping it open, taking an Adderall. I'm already like, fuck. Like, are you? I'm like, all right. And she's like, you know what? Actually, it's like in 40 minutes. I'm like, I don't know if you're making it. She's like, what? Never mind. I'm just going to cancel it. And I was like, okay. She's like, yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just going to cancel it. Bye. And it hung up on me. And I was like, I'm fucking up now. And that's your meeting.
But I had 2 minutes of sleep that was taken from me.
She's got to take it
And
back.
you know I'm not getting it back from her.
Well, no.
She's a greedy bitch with her time.
Why would she give you those 2 minutes? They're hers.
I shouldn't have given them so freely. Well, because it's like, Taylor never calls me unless she needs something. But that's not a bad need something. There are people, and you should always be wary of people who only call you and want to talk to you when they need something from you.
Right.
Now, when I say she only calls me if she needs something, it's because otherwise she would never have a reason to call me.
Right.
Unless she was like drunk. Her and Brandon are drunk and saying, "Where are you? Get over here."
Right.
And that's from your phone.
Well, yeah, because it's one of those things where it's like you don't want someone in your life who literally only like communicates with you when they need something. You talk to Taylor all the time.
Yeah, like
she never
like we'll go and hang
calls
out
you unless you need something.
Like we don't text, we don't share memes, but like we also like
we hang out all the time.
Yeah, her and I have hung out one-on-one 3 times.
Yeah,
which
is the weirdest part.
Yeah, we watched Hurricane Bianca
before like any of us watched Drag Race.
Yeah. And I was like, "Damn, who is this fucking hottie?" And you want to know who that was? That was the camera girl herself.
Camera girl.
Alyssa Edwards. I couldn't remember the name.
Camera got it.
Yeah. No, so she gets the fish pass. From me, says.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, that was the whole story of that. Can we talk about Suicide Squad now?
I thought it was pretty good.
Okay, cool. I did too. I actually really, really liked it.
I liked it a lot too.
Okay, so we're gonna do a spoiler-free discussion of this. For the beginning part of this conversation, and then we'll do something. Yeah, we're gonna do something like this or whatever, or make a note of in the recording at what time it happens before we trim it, so that we could put a timestamp and so that we could say skip to this if you don't want spoilers.
When we're talking about spoilers, we'll just be doing this the whole time. So if they skip ahead and our hands are still moving, they know not to be there.
If you see us doing this,
skip ahead.
I'm like, where's the animated intro? Okay, so general impressions. Go.
I thought it was good.
Or you lead.
Yeah.
Don't let me lead.
I thought it was good. I thought it definitely had like a much more coherent plot than say the first one.
It had a plot.
Yeah, which was a step up from the first one. Although I will also go on record saying I liked the first one as like dumb fun. I'm not saying it's a good movie. I enjoyed it.
My only problem with the plot, because like Enchantress,
yeah,
she's something.
Yeah, Cara Delevingne.
Yeah, or Delevingne.
I think. Yeah.
I didn't understand where it's like as soon as like that like heart came out, it's like Enchantress took over and like she's immediately the villain. This is it.
Yeah.
Like that whole part, I'm like, you could have you fleshed out all this other shit with Rick Flag and the fucking Cara Delevingne girl, not as Enchantress, who I don't even remember her name because she's that unimportant.
Yeah.
To flip, now she's the villain. It's like, what's like it just
with her like Enchantress brother.
Yeah, there like wasn't enough. Like they could have given us a little bit more development time there. And it would have been better. I'm almost certain that there was like reshoots or something done in the Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Because if you remember,
there wasn't the first one.
No, so if you remember early on when you see John Cena, I'm pretty sure he's rocking like a high and tight.
Oh, okay.
But then when what's supposed to be like 3-4 days later?
Yeah. Right?
He's got like a full head of hair. When they're fighting.
I think he has hair in the beginning.
See, that's what I couldn't remember, and I'm like...
Because I remember looking at his hair thinking it looked kind of weird.
Maybe he had it coiffed
John Cena
a bit.
has, like, lighter hair.
Maybe I just, like, saw it weirdly.
And in the movie, they, like, seem to darken his hair.
Why do I think he has a high and tight? Let me look him up real quick.
Yeah, I think he had hair.
Also, he looks like Joe from Family Guy.
So, the Rat Dad was Taika Waititi, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I was really excited.
When I first saw him, like... You know, in the first little clip of him, I was like, "Is that Taika?"
It's not heroin. Well, you don't know what it is.
We don't know what it is.
It's heavily
it's his burden. That's what it's described as.
Yeah.
I was like, I think that's him, and I was like, that can't be him. They wouldn't like. Would he do something like that? And then like he got a little bit more screen time, so like, oh yeah.
Oh, okay. No, he does have hair.
Yeah,
I think he just normally has it like slicked down. So with it being in the helmet,
kind of like up and over.
Yeah, but like with it in the helmet, where it was more like shaggy up and over, it was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So compared to the first one, do you think it's better?
Yes.
Because it's not a sequel and it's
No.
not a remake.
No. I thought it was interesting that they went like within naming conventions. They literally just went the Suicide Squad.
Mhm.
It feels very much of like the director being like, now let me show you how it's done.
Well, because James Gunn directed it.
Yeah.
Which he does really well. Did you see the Sean Gunn in it?
No.
The part where they find Balloon Boy or no, Polka Dot Man.
Uh-huh.
And there's the one guy talking shit in the line, calling him a fucking pussy.
Oh, yeah.
That's Sean Gunn. That's James Gunn's brother.
Oh.
Yeah. Which as soon as I saw Sean Gunn, I'm like, I want to know who it is. Who was Sylvester Stallone?
Sylvester Stallone was in that?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know who the hell he was. Was he the detachable kid?
That was TDK. So the
that
intro.
one guy was one of the...
Pedro Pascal. Or well, Pete Davidson was from SNL.
Yeah, one of them was a YouTube guy.
Oh, Weasel.
Javelin was Flula.
I don't know. I'm looking.
From
YouTube. John Cena was Peacemaker. Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn, which she did amazing as well. Although personally, I think she did a lot better in
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey. But that was also that's supposed to be Birds of Prey, the emancipation of one Harley Quinn. But everyone calls it Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, which I disagree with personally. Like, it is her movie, but it's genuinely fun. We should watch it.
Yeah,
because like it's an actual good time. Like Tyler went and saw it.
Oh.
But Tyler also really. Oh, Sylvester Stallone was King Shark, which is wild. They didn't even have to use CGI. He just looks like that. Which I guess that's the villain name, but they gave him a real name, the Shark.
Yeah, they kept calling him by his like given name.
Yeah, which like was way cooler.
Yeah.
I was watching a Cosmonaut Variety Hour. I'll check him out. Check them out on YouTube. He does really good stuff. But he does a lot of like movie reviews. He's a huge like Marvel nerd, whatnot. But like the Harry Potter movies, and like sometimes his takes are a bit more critical than I would do, and sometimes like he loves shit that I wouldn't. But I'm like, generally it's like an enjoyable reviewing experience. Mm-hmm. He mentions that he made a comment when he was talking. He finally did a video on Suicide Squad, the 2016 one.
Yeah.
Where
is the video titled Suicide Squad the worst video ever made?
I don't know. Maybe.
Because like all of a sudden that like came up in my feed.
And he came out with it recently.
Yeah, it had come out pretty recently because like it came up in my feed. I was like, oh, that's weird. Why is something about Suicide Squad coming up? And then I was like, oh, and this was like just made. And I didn't watch it because I was like, I know it was a bad movie, but I enjoyed it. So.
He called Suicide Squad the worst superhero movie ever made with Harley on it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
But he makes a comment why he's like, there's so much licensed music, right? Like in that first one, to the point where it is a bit much.
Yeah.
And when they introduced Crocodile, who was clearly coded as a black character, he's like, why is it whenever we introduce a black character, we have to have hip hop music in the background? And I was just like,
say it.
Oh, you're right though. How else would we know?
Well, also, like, why does should we call it Suicide Squad series at this point? Because there are two. Like, why does it always hinge on, like, a man of color being a bad dad? Like, they've done that both times as, like, the lead.
Well, no. Will Smith was a good dad because Will Smith wasn't allowed to be a shitty dad. But
he was like kind of a bad dad.
Well, he got in jail and
it was
he killed
the same
people.
thing of like,
but he did
I'm doing it for my daughter.
Yeah, but it was a very loving thing, which I will say was an insane breath of fresh air when Idris Elba's daughter is just like, screaming, fuck you, you piece of shit. And he's like, fuck you for getting caught, you dumbass.
Yeah, that was good.
Like, it was pretty good.
That one was good because that felt like real. That didn't feel like a movie fight. That felt like a fight people would really have.
This movie absolutely recognized how ridiculous the Suicide Squad and the comics actually are. Yeah. I haven't read any of them, but like I've taken in enough media to understand.
Yeah.
But like it had fun with it.
It did. Well, like even
Taika Waititi's in it and James Gunn's involved. Those two are going to do well because Taika Waititi did Thor Ragnarok, which was really good. Which of all the Marvel movies is the one you should watch.
Yeah. Didn't he do some of the other ones too?
Probably. He was in Jojo Rabbit. I don't know what that is. That was the kid who has an imaginary friend, Hitler. He's a little Hitler youth.
Rabbit?
No, it takes place like during World War II, and like it's a fun like
A fun little romp through Nazi Germany.
Yeah, like literally, quite literally, where his like this boy's like the Fuhrer is his imaginary friend.
Oh,
and then like his mom is hiding a Jew girl. I think Shoshana. I don't remember exactly what her name is, but like him like starting to understand that like being indoctrinated isn't good, but it's like a fun romp. I don't know how else to describe it. It's weird. It's I haven't seen it. It's been on my like watch list for a long time since as long as I knew I wanted to put it on there.
Yeah.
So, but it's a dark comedy.
Okay.
So, but no, I thought it was really good. I think
it was good.
I think characters. Thoughts on characters?
It was good.
There's no Will Smith.
No.
Of any size.
Not that little Will Smith.
Not the little Will Smith.
Yeah. No, I thought it was good. I mean, like, without getting into spoilers, like, obviously there were some people where it's like, I wish the things that had happened hadn't happened.
Weasel.
Yeah, I wish.
They did my boy dirty. As soon as I saw Weasel, I immediately looked at Eric and I was like, it's Zuki.
I hated that fucking thing.
I was so mad that we didn't get to have Weasel. That's spoiler.
I was gonna say, I kept like stopping myself because I was like, "That's a spoiler." I guess.
I just realized I'm like, there's so much we could talk about if once we lift the spoiler thing. I guess.
Yeah, we should probably just lift it now because like our
closing statement for it.
I think it's a good movie. I don't know. I can't really speak to like if you like superhero movies if this will scratch that itch, but I think it's just kind of like a fun movie.
It's a very fun take on we're bad guys, it's what we do, but like they showed it and didn't tell us.
Normal is a setting on a dryer.
Oh my god.
I have to give Margot Robbie props for at least trying to say that line with conviction.
Well, like, and she does
in
great.
the first one.
Like, she's like anytime she's done Harley, like, no, she has owned the character much like Jack Sparrow, as Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow, where it's like no one else could do it.
Yeah, or Jared Leto as the Joker. No one else could have done that.
He's the Joker, baby. Joaquin Phoenix was a pale imitation. All right, so we're gonna end the spoiler time. Spoiler time.
It's now.
Be aware. All right. Your thoughts. Now that we can fully unstrict. Yeah, go see it if it's on HBO Max, which I think it is. Like that's how I was going to watch. I was going to watch it like 2 days ago, but I'm glad I waited to see it in theaters.
Yeah, I'm glad I saw it in theaters.
Granted, we had nobody near us except for the people near us.
Yeah. There was no one nearby except for the two people in front of us and the two people behind
But they were like to the sides of us.
They were in line with each other.
Yeah, but there was a space in between. There was more than 6 feet apart, so you were good.
Spoiler version. I like the reckless abandon with which they will kill people.
Yes. I hated in the first one where there was the Native American character.
Yep.
Who like his whole thing
from Law and Order.
He was like the whole thing was that he was like really good with the ropes. I don't even remember what he was supposed to be good with. Immediately dies and it's just played off as like a 1-count joke.
Yeah.
But like you didn't give him any characterization.
Yeah.
They kill off what you think is the entire fucking team.
Yeah.
In the first scene. But they gave them all a moment to shine beforehand in the plane.
And the other thing that was weird was that, like, you could make the case, like, well, he wasn't, like, owed that or whatever. Like, his character didn't have to matter. But in all of the, like, initial...
title cards.
Yeah, like, everything about the movie... like all the ads and everything, it was always about like, here's all the members of the Suicide Squad, and so like it like named all of them and they all had their little skull symbols, and he was part of that and then died with no characterization within like 5 minutes.
To the point where I still don't remember his name.
I don't know his name. I don't remember what his power was.
It was something to do with like he could scale anything, I think was like the thing.
Yeah, and then he just
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
But, like
I appreciate that. Like I will say they got me when Harley killed the president.
Oh, that was... I kept thinking, like, I'm like, is she, like, still in the hole and it's, like, a weird, like, induced thing? I will say, if you have any... Like, if you're watching it at home and you have any, like, reservations and you're like, I'm not really sure, push through it, but not... Like, it makes it sound like it's work. It's not, but you get what I mean. Like...
There were some slower bits.
I was prepping, like...
A dodge. And
I was like, is this going to be, like, fake? And I'm like... Okay, like go off, Queen. And then it was, okay, that's fair.
I liked that it did like it kind of because like that's kind of a comic booky thing of that like ridiculous plot of, you know, like I've known you for a day, but you know, like let's get married or whatever. And so I was like, I thought it was funny that like they literally did that and then had her like kill him. So it was like kind of a nod to like the ridiculousness of those sort of things, and then literally just be like, yeah, but no.
Yeah, no.
He did.
I'm done. Oh, Adam Beach played Slipknot.
Which
Slipknot
he
Suicide
had, like,
Squad.
He had like the repelling.
He is
shit.
a fictional character, supervillain. But what does he do?
I think he just uses like
great physical
like
strength, speed,
and
agility, reflexes, ability to climb on every building or harsh object using ropes, grappling pistol, or usage of many other advanced rope vessels.
Yeah, he's a rope dude.
And he also has high-level fighting skills.
And then he just, boom.
Yeah. So as someone who watched the entirety of Gotham, which is all about the Batman's rogues gallery, including like Balloon Man.
And the Joker.
The Joker, baby.
Played by that.
Yeah,
the shameless kid.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I can't
Ian
play that
Gallagher.
Jedi game.
Huh?
The reason why I can't play that Jedi game because it's literally
right.
just
That's
him.
I forget Cameron something. It's not. I want to say Moynihan, but that's not right. Cameron has Despacito. No, he was really good in it. But like, so I have this like really good appreciation for the lesser known people, where it's like they kind of are just a 2-bit villain.
Yeah.
But like, they still deserve some pizzazz because like the whole point is like ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, it's like it gets boring like when every like new rendition of like Batman, for example, has the Joker. Like, yes, he's iconic, but like, come on, dig a little deeper. Give us somebody else. Yeah. Like, does every Spider-Man have to have Green Goblin? No. Like, come on.
Spider-Man has so many like cool villains too. Yeah.
Which I will say, like, even though I've never seen them, Spider-Man seems to like at least pull more of them.
Yeah. Well, and then Spider-Man's even gone so far with their Into the Multiverse. What is it? Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah. Did you see that one?
No, I saw a lot about it though. Like,
it was really good.
All the different versions.
All the animated ones, and all the animated ones have their own like frame rates and whatnot too, which is really cool. That was a really good movie. No, yeah, I really liked that all the characters like felt real. Like Pete Davidson's character was fucking hysterical for the little bit that he was in the movie. I was really worried that like, wait, is he going to be in this whole thing? Not that I don't like Pete, but I'm like, because Pete's funny.
The bit would get stale.
Yeah, which is just he sold them out
because he was doing the Pete Davidson bit the whole time he was on screen, which worked because he was only on screen for so long.
Yeah, like they played to his strengths, and that's not like. Yeah, I mean, he banged Ariana Grande, so like, you got to give the guy props. Yeah. Do you think she let him touch the high ponytail?
Only after she took it off.
She
unclipped it.
Well, it all unclips, and all of her hair was actually a helmet, and it's exposed brain. God.
I also liked the villain, the super villain, was so stupid looking.
Wait, the
star.
Oh, okay.
The starfish.
Oh, the big bad.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the guy like Dr. Graves, which I love that he walked into this place and no one says a fucking word about the guy with all the nuts and bolts in his fucking head, which is like that's the shit I like. Yeah. Where we don't need to like address it, except for the shark. The shark we do.
Yeah. I liked that, like, because that's very like the starfish villain thing looking honestly stupid. Like,
it was Patrick.
Yeah.
With an eye.
It was very like that's very comic book though.
Yeah.
That like you'd have to fight a giant starfish with an eye that looks
it's
stupid.
A fucking kaiju. Like that's what it is. The guy makes the reference and it's like, oh, Viola Davis seems like she was pissed off that she had to reprise the role.
Honestly,
like she
seemed so mad.
Like she didn't do a good enough job last time, which like she did.
Amanda, she did great.
Like, and she did amazing in this role, in this like in the same role. Which at first I was like, wait a second, how many people are from the original? Because like Rick Flag was the same actor.
Is Suicide Squad the one where she does like that thing that people gif where it's like, do it, shoot me, I deserve it? No, that's from that other thing she's in. That's from the I don't know. No, but that's not what that one. Yeah, she did great. I liked when she got hit.
The Last Mimsy?
Howl's Flying Castle.
Oh. She's not in that.
I know.
That's a Miyazaki film. Wait, was she Totoro? Did you know that on the set of Pan's Labyrinth, the movie that's all like in Spanish?
David Bowie?
No.
Nope. That's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth was the one with the pale demon with the eyes, hand eyes. Guillermo del Toro is like big dude.
I almost said that name.
Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
Was like a big dude.
Yeah.
And I guess the actress that plays like the young girl like had a difficult time like saying his name and called him Totoro-san. Or like because he reminded her of My Neighbor Totoro, which I thought was really cute.
He was originally going to be the director for the Hobbit films.
Oh.
Tying it all back. He also was at one point going to be the director of a Star Trek film, and also didn't happen.
All the people would have had eyes on their hands, like the Pale Demon. Pan Demon. But yeah, we should talk about Suicide Squad. I fucking loved it. I thought all the characters are great. The very, the opening scene with like...
Getting the devil.
Fucking just people getting nuked. That's what I was looking up. I think it was Pedro Pascal was TDK.
Was he?
That's what that's what gave me the energy. Okay, so John Cena's Peacemaker, Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn. Pete Davidson's character's name.
Wasn't it Blackguard or something?
Yeah, it was oh god. Can I just pull up the IMDb? Okay. Because it's like it's cutting off part of the name, so I can't see it. Idris Elba was Bloodsport. Mm-hmm. Peacemaker. Joel Kinnaman was Rick Flag. Michael Rooker was Savant. Viola Davis was Amanda Waller. Nathan Fillion was TDK.
Oh,
I always mix it because it was just the chin that I could see, and I'm like, that's either Nathan Fillion or it's Pedro Pascal, and I don't know which one. That was the coolest fucking character in the entire. Like that was the dumbest character, dumber than the polka dot guy.
I love that it was played up like it was going to be this really sick thing.
I was like total knockout or something. I was like trying to think of it, and they're like, because it's like, what's it stand for? And he's like, TDK. It's a name.
It's my name.
And what was it supposed to be?
Huh?
What did the acronym stand for?
The detachable kid.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Because
his arms just detach
pop off, float slow.
And when they were doing it though, they had like this like swelling music though, like it was about to be like they were just gonna like beat the shit with the arms, and then they're just like slapping people,
like they're really far away, and then he's just sitting there like doing this, like because I guess he still has to move his body. And like it was just.
And then they just start shooting the arms, and he's just screaming on the ground. Oh my god!
And then there was the guy with the fucking spear,
the javelin. Yeah.
God, that was.
And he didn't even do anything. He just stood up and got shot.
I will say it was amazing that like I'm like, what's in her bag? I'm like, is it a baseball bat? And I'm like, they did that in the last two movies, so they don't need to do that again.
She never ended up using the hammer, did she?
No.
She like pulled it out during their little like.
No, yeah, she never actually used it. I want to say
it.
she uses a hammer at some point in the. There's the police scene in Birds of Prey is really fucking good when she's in jail, like at the precinct.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really cool. Like of all the scenes, if you're gonna watch just one, that's the one.
That's the one.
No, she used the rocket launcher.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's like the fucking She-Ra looking bitch. I forget her name.
I don't remember her name.
They're all doing this amazing badass shit where they're like running. She like jumps up and just fucking like grabs onto a helicopter, and we're like, oh shit. And it starts spinning around, cutting and like killing everybody. And we're like, I was like, okay, you guys got this. And it's like, oh no, Captain Boomerang, fucking like
dead,
decapitated.
I couldn't believe that they just like killed him.
They did him dirty.
Yeah,
because he reprised the role.
Yeah, and they were just like, nah.
He's like, I'm killing the old squad, but Rick Flag stays. Rick Flag's cool.
Who else was in the first movie that they didn't bring back?
Jai Courtney was Captain Boomerang.
Will Smith didn't come back.
Yeah, Flula Borg.
Yeah, he's from
Javelin. That was the one.
That's the one.
Mei Ling. I don't know how do you pronounce that last name? NG. It's like a Vietnamese, yeah. Is it Ng?
It's just literally just the NG.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Like NGUYEN is another common, but that's pronounced like Nguyen. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel bad. Like I just don't know how to pronounce it. I need to. I'll look it up. Pete Davidson was Blackguard. Yeah, Blackguard.
Yeah.
But apparently, like his like real name in the show is Dick Hertz, or in the thing. Oh, Sean Gunn played Weasel. The other guy. Weasel was the best fucking character.
Weasel was disgusting.
He was this nasty fucking CGI
and then
thing.
I'm mad that it survived.
It says nothing. He's just like, and they're like, is he with us? And it's like, I don't know. And it felt much more like I'm not assembling an elite squad.
Right. That
whole bullshit. It's quite literally like we're doing illegal shit that can't be traced, so we're going to use villains. We'll take 10 years off your sentence. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You know, if you survive. And if you don't do what we tell you, we're going to kill you.
Yeah.
And so, like, it made it feel like when they were in the plane, like, and Harley Quinn was there, like, her and Rick Flag, which, like, it kind of felt like maybe they were pushing a little bit of romantic thing, but I think it was just genuinely...
Yeah.
He just, like they're just actually friends.
He at least never, like, played it like romance, I don't think. And I don't think Margot Robbie did either.
No, well, I mean, a little bit like
she
the hugs and stuff.
Yeah, she leaned in like a little bit more.
That's how she is.
But that works with Harley Quinn, you know, like...
Yeah.
Because they had... I mean, she did the same thing with, like, Deadshot in the first one. Even though, like...
Big Will Smith.
Yeah. Will Smith. Even though, like, you know, that was never going to be a thing.
Yeah. Well, and, like, it just made, like... It made him, like, a likable character. Like, I never hated Rick Flag.
Yeah, no,
I didn't like him that much in the first one, but that's not because of the actor.
I liked him.
Well, I just was like, there's a lot of setup stuff. This movie was just set up so much better. Of like,
the pacing
we have
was
a shit
much
ton.
Better.
Yeah, the pacing was better. They just the fact that they have a shit ton, and then it's like they all fucking die in this opening climatic scene. You're like, what the fuck? And then it's like, so there's this other squad that also got dropped, which implies that like they have multiple squads, and because like that's what made it feel good is that like these are all just like 2-bit villains more or less that like Rick Flag's just like, this is who they fucking sent me with Weasel. No one knew that he could swim. That was the best part.
Yeah, it felt more like these are just villains, not like super villains. Like it felt like, at least in the first one, they were playing up everyone's thing, which was also weird though, because they chose some like kind of more unconventional villains that like were more jokey. Like like Captain Boomerang is a little ridiculous. Yeah. But they tried to like play it straight, like to make him seem like a real big threat.
Like Nanto V Movies has a really good video about how if he were to like redo it or what have you, like it would be Captain Boomerang's story. Why? Because it would be better. Oh. Because Captain Boomerang's actually kind of cool, from what I've been told.
I don't know. I don't do the whole comic book shit.
Well, yeah, well, it's just the fact that they kind of made it like the weird, like the original Suicide Squad 2016 didn't really feel like it knew which movie it wanted to be.
Well, I'm almost certain that was because it was
reshot.
From everything that they've said, the original version was like a lot more serious and gritty. And then, what was the movie that did well? I think it was Thor Ragnarok. Blew up the box office being funny and everything, and they were like, oh shit, like people like aren't, and they'd already like fucked up like so many
with
like,
Batman versus Superman
DC
and stuff. Like, I'm tired of seeing this saturated grays,
right? And so they were like, we got to make this funny, so they did like extensive reshoots to try to add like funny bits, and so that like the end product feels like there's like two different movies.
It's still
happening.
An enjoyable movie.
Yeah,
I don't
like
hate it.
But I won't say it was good.
But I kind of love this movie.
This one was really good.
Like, I would actually buy this on DVD. Like that much. Like, it was. I thought all the villains were fucking fun. I love that they immediately called out when like she recruits because she like threatens to basically kill his daughter through like legal means, which is insane.
Yeah.
And gets tested throughout the movie. And like they when they go to meet John Cena.
Yeah. And
they're like, I'm the peacemaker, and I'm willing to get peace, and I don't care what woman, man, or child I have to kill to get it. Which I'm like, Captain America, cool. Yep. And where it's like, I have all these people are all like elite with their own unique things, and they're like,
she does the exact same script.
And it's like, what's the fucking difference between the two of us? There's no difference. We're trained in the same things.
And she just doesn't answer.
And he's like, yeah, but I use smaller bullets.
Yeah. Which
there was a lot of Chekhov's gun that did fire in the movie. Yeah. I was really nervous because there's a lot of little lines where I'm like, you better fire that gun in the third act.
Yeah, the only one that I was surprised that they didn't like deliver on, which they didn't need to, but like the polka dot guy. Which thing? His thing of, like if he doesn't like expel the polka dots that he'll like end up dead or whatever. And like there was a decent amount of like lead up of the whole like every so often like like it keeps like manifesting and like taking him over, and then at like a third of the way through the movie they just kind of dropped that, which I guess you could say it's because he's like using them.
Well, as long as he uses like if he uses them then he can, but obviously they're destructive. But it's the whole like he went and vomited. Period. Yeah. Which I think that was more of what it was. I think it was not really trying to be a Chekhov's gun, but more of just like, what is this? And then it kind of subverts it. Because the dude's just kind of sad in general.
Yeah. It just felt kind of weird because it felt like they were like leading up to like that being a hinging point. That like something about like he's going to get taken over by them or something. And then like that part just kind of dropped off. I don't care. Yeah, I still think his, arc
this whole thing
was good.
Everyone's his mother. Which is just... Like, that's the shit where it's like
the girl he's like grinding on the dance floor.
It's just, oh my god! I'm like, I thought Ratcatcher was. I was a little mad at the beginning.
That millennial
the
line,
millennial shit,
which is
like,
also weird because I'm pretty sure that actress is young enough to be in Gen Z.
Yeah, I mean, she still did a really good job.
She's great,
but they're like, she's sleepy and she won't get up.
I didn't think I was gonna like her, and then I
my exact thing. I thought the part when they were in the bus and they had the heart to heart,
yeah,
and she talks about like Taika Waititi doing drugs with her. Well, not with her there.
She was there.
Like, I'm like, I understand that this is the only moment we got, but I'm like, everyone else is still in this bus, just like ignoring the conversation. It felt like there wasn't a good place to have this conversation in the narrative. Yeah. So I was like, you get a pass.
Yeah.
But you're on thin ice, and they never really like broke the ice since then. So like, I wasn't really mad.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I can't remember. I was terrified they were going to kill that little baby rat who wasn't a baby, Sebastian.
Oh no.
I was like, I swear to God, if they kill Sebastian and they
makes a sacrifice.
Yes. I was like, because they kept like, because he was the one that like jumped in there in the eye and everything, and they like showed him with his little backpack, and I was like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't you kill my little man.
Well, and
they did.
I'm glad this, as soon as like Harley got up on that, like where she had the spear, she got off the building, and I'm like, ooh, is that a long thing with a long brick that it almost looks like you jump off of it? I'm like, we all knew, but like, it still wasn't bad. Like, it was a good amount of tropey. What fucking got me was, God, what was it? I just had it. God damn it. It was, I'm trying to think through the movie now. The fucking, so like, I totally knew when like, he's been captured, gotta go get him. Like, immediately, when they went to go rescue Rick Flag, I knew immediately that like, these aren't like the bad guys, that they're systematically fucking annihilating,
destroying,
and it's like, you've destroyed the rebel forces,
including like the women just washing clothes and stuff,
and like the people who like have a gun because like they need to, not because like they're trying to, like they're not even uniformed or anything. Like, it was just, that was good, which is why I'm glad the smaller bullets comment, like that was also something that came through. I liked the way they played with time a bit, where it was kind of showing stuff where it's like they detonated early, and I'm like, I wonder why. The betrayal.
Them showing it that way instead of like splicing it, I don't know. I thought it was fun.
Yeah,
they did it well. Mm-hmm. You can do that poorly very easily. And I think they did it well.
Did a good job of like getting back up, because when it was like 3 days earlier, I was like, oh fuck, so this is going to be the end of the movie, is this battle? And it's like, no.
Yeah. Well, and I liked
and Weasel was there.
I also liked when they did the like the, playing with the like in-universe things, making like the signs and stuff.
Yeah.
I like when they do shit like that. Like Prey did that in the beginning. I like that kind of shit.
Part of me kind of was hoping when they got onto the beach and it said like now.
Yeah.
That someone didn't look over and be like, do those spell out now?
Does that say now?
Like,
yeah, that one felt kind of unnecessary because I'm like, well, of course it's now.
Now, but like, it makes sense.
It's
saying, hey, now we're not. This back. Isn't like, and even this thing that you had seen wasn't a flashback or anything. Like,
I was also kind of confused by and like, it's not really like a big issue or something, but like when they like land and everything, and they're like, oh yeah, the other team, that's a distraction or whatever, and so like they like walk for a little bit, and he's like, okay, we're gonna camp here, and I'm like, I thought this was time sensitive. You just got here, and you're gonna go to sleep.
Well, I think it's because the whole thing was they needed to get into the city, but since apparently there's been distraction, I think they walked for a bit longer. But it also seemed like
it worked. It just seemed odd. It seemed like just a way to like be able to deliver on other plot points, like being able to have like the shark guy almost eat her and things like that.
Which was, I mean, fair. Like, and Ratcatcher became more enjoyable. I was a little tired of like the tropes, but then like. It's because they made what essentially was like the millennial. Well, they actually said millennial.
Yeah.
Which that's where I was just like,
that felt tired.
Okay. But then like they never made that joke again. They did make the like her sleeping, but like it mildly relevant by the shark eating her almost, which like even then was a little, but I don't know. But then all the rats were fucking cool. I didn't like it.
Also, why were those squids like that? Not squids, like the jellyfish.
Why they got to do King Shark dirty?
Well, just like in general, like there was. I mean, I guess like the whole thing is that like they're like experimenting there, but there was nothing else that seemed experimented on except these sudden random jellyfish that wanted to eat him.
Yeah, which also, why do you have an aquarium this high up in the building?
Which then didn't like deliver in any way because like him being attacked didn't affect anything.
Well, I thought they were gonna kill him.
So did I. And then like they didn't, which is good. I liked because I
liked when he didn't die.
Yeah, so I liked that he survived, but I was like, why did we even do this? Was this just a way to like? I think it was just set dressing. They were like, this would look really cool if it was like flooded for a little bit, which is fair.
Because I would, exactly. That shit would be.
It totally worked.
I'm trying to remember who the other guy was. The best part of the fucking movie, the best member of the Suicide Squad, the bus driver. Milton. Because I remember seeing him running with them, and I'm like, what is he doing?
I know. And he like pulled in the bus, and he's like cocking the gun, and Rick's like, no.
So he goes in unarmed with they have grocery bags that say gracias
full of plastic explosives.
And then making the little man, not Milton, but King Shark, but like Milton, and then like also there was apparently a weird romantic subplot
which was fully like unexplored, and suddenly came out of nowhere. And at first I thought he was like making like a joke, and I was like, oh no, they're trying to imply that, like he really did like Milton.
Which like I kind of love.
Yeah.
Like part of me is like, well, why didn't they show it? What about gay relationships they can't do? I'm like, no, that's kind of the joke, is that like the dude's like I keep calling him Blue Man, but it's not. It's the polka dot man.
Yeah.
Which, why do they call him the polka dot guy? It's
like, does he throw polka dots?
He throws polka dots. There was no joke outside of maybe the millennial joke, because that one was bad. That makes me sound like a weird like boomer. Well, who's mad that you called me a boomer?
Well, it was just like weirdly, I don't know. It seemed weirdly placed. It seemed weirdly like socially motivated compared to like all the other jokes, which were much like not.
Yeah, they didn't need to be.
It just felt out of place.
I mean, the best joke was John Cena and his tighty whities, and then when they called him like, "Oh, over here in your tighty whities,"
zooming in on his dick.
Yeah, and they were like, "You call him tighty whities," and like basically saying like, "Hey, that's racist."
Yes,
which I love.
Which just like flew under the radar. Also, when they were in like the rebel place and they were just like killing all of them, that one guy just like had his dick out.
Oh yeah, we full on saw
like, kill him, and his dick just like flops back as he's falling backwards. I was like, oh,
well, okay. Like the sheer amount of like fucks that were said in the movie, like I was like,
they went for their R
they're
rating.
Like, we had an R rating and we're gonna fucking take it to the fucking moon.
Which I thought was good though, because it's like real people would say fuck all the time.
I am tired of watching Marvel movies where they don't talk like people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always like, I know I have a bad fucking mouth. I'm like, I swear a lot. Granted, in a work setting, I can do my best to hold my tongue, but not always. Sometimes, this is being shitty, and like, that's what it is.
Well, and I'm sorry, like, a group of supervillains who are, facing things that are going to kill them, potentially kill them, they're going to say fuck. They don't give a shit.
Yeah. Or Amanda
Wallace,
Cosgrove. Miranda Cosgrove. Well, Megan in her room with all the computers is going, you better not, you better stop, turn around. And her being so fucking pissed off and being like, mad. I would fucking kill you, motherfucking piece.
That one, I was like, damn. I'm like, she mad.
And then like, they just, because they're all fucking gambling on who's gonna die first, and it's Weasel, which Weasel didn't die.
Weasel didn't die. Which Weasel had died.
Part of me wishes that the post-credit scene and the final scene should have been swapped.
I agree.
It would have been much more satisfying, because like the final scene, which is the beach of this country, where Weasel's dead body is still laying there like a week later, and like he just goes and like gets his nasty fucking
body up,
Tom from Tom and Jerry in real life looking ass, like, and just walks
waddles
away
off into the forest
like a fucking chupacabra or something. Like, I loved it. And they're like, what kind of dog is he?
I don't know the breed. And then the Nathan Fillion's like, I think it's an Afghan hound.
They're like, what the fuck do you mean? You ever seen a dog that looks like that?
And I don't know every breed.
Like, Pete's lines were good.
It was good. Like, the beginning was actually.
When he was sitting with his arbor, and he's like he's gonna fucking kill him, because it was so much better than like all right, we're gonna put you guys all on the line, and Margot Robbie's gonna be like,
dressed. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, did I say that all out loud? Oh. Which, that's not her. That's the writers. Like,
yeah.
oh man, like they did like the intros for everybody where it made more sense. Like it's not an elite group that you're going out hunting,
right?
Just in case, and then as soon as you do, something happens.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's no. I have something that's happened, and we kind of need it rectified, which is covering up the United States involvement in extraterrestrial terrorism, more or less.
Yeah,
and research
by way of starfish.
It's starfish is a euphemism for butthole. John Cena in this movie, like, was the antithesis of when I see pictures of him doing Make-A-Wish.
Yeah.
I don't care how many men, women, and children I have to
kill
to have peace. It was just, his character was so fucking good.
It was good.
He was just very funny.
I don't know. I understand like the reason why like they showed him like being alive was like to do the gut punch of like you assume it's gonna be Rick Flag and then it's like nope, just kidding, it's him. I understand like
he was the post-credit scene was that like he's doing okay and they're like the two people got like assigned to him because like Waller's pissed.
Yeah, and so like that part I get it for like the tease of like oh god Rick Flag's alive and then no it's him. I get that, but I'm like, is this movie gonna get a sequel and is he actually gonna like deliver on any of it? It felt weird. Like,
part of me's like if they do, because like the whole thing is that like they're free, quote unquote, so like it doesn't need a sequel. But
they can always just make the whole thing about Suicide Squad, even comparing the first movie to the second one. The whole thing is that like, and correct me if I'm wrong because I don't know everything about the comics, but like the Suicide Squad members rotated constantly, so like they can just keep making more movies but you kind of need other super
like you kind of need some of your core people
like Harley has to be there.
Yeah, well kind of Rick Flag too. Rick Flag's always been like the de facto leader
and
like that's in the comics too a lot of the time of the Suicide Squad.
They killed him.
Well, I mean he got stabbed in the heart.
Yeah, we watched his heart stop.
Unless Bolt Boy
Enchantress could like bring it. No, she's dead.
Yeah,
I was gonna say like she could like do some stupid magic shit to bring him back, right? I don't know.
Probably, I don't know.
But I think she died. She died in the first one.
Yeah,
right?
Well, that movie's not related to this one, from what I understand. Like, it's like a separate, same cinematic universe.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it just did so much better. That was a fun movie.
It was good. I liked it a lot.
And I don't think it went on too long.
No,
it was longer than it felt.
There were some moments in the beginning where like it felt a little slow. I was a little bit like, okay. Mostly because I was also coming into it with like notions from the first one where in my head I was like, oh god, how long are we gonna have to do like character intros and stuff? And they did a good job of playing with that and changing the order. So I was like, okay, I'm actually like good with it.
And they like, and the some subversions like Deadshot, who it's not Deadshot, thank God. Yeah. It's another character who does similar stuff, but Idris Elba was also a better character. Yeah. And he wore his helmet for most of the movie. Well, of course, he's fucking Idris Elba.
Why is he not James Bond?
They're racist.
No, because like the new one is like a woman who's also black.
Is this the Doctor Who? No, Doctor Who has the woman doctor.
No, they're doing like the new like James Bond.
Oh, there is?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's cool. Good for them. Because James Bond's always been a title.
But they're not saying she's James Bond. It's like now I don't know. I think she's like 008 or something is like the premise or something. Like they're not saying like she's James Bond.
8 because sideways it's boobs.
Of course.
And we have to make sure people know it's a woman.
Yeah.
Is the 008 in pink so that we know it's a girl movie?
It's a ladies movie. No, but like
we're not the sexist.
I'm pretty sure that's happening. No, but like he's literally British and amazing. Yeah. Like why would you not?
Oh yeah, he's
and
he's
Bond.
Great in everything he's been in.
He's even good in Prometheus. And that's not a good movie. Another movie that's not good, but that I love.
I fucking love Prometheus. I think it's great. I think that Alien, what was the sequel?
Covenant.
Covenant was a shit movie,
awful.
And they shit on everything. And Dr. Shaw was a babe.
I was so mad.
Carla Shaw.
Hi, I'm Carla Shaw. I loved Prometheus. Again, like it had like serious like there were some big issues, but
you're still like not as good. Oh,
now part of it's because the light. Let me turn the light up.
Well, I think it's so. I realized the kitchen lights. I have those.
They
working
help,
for me.
yeah. And like,
I guess I should bring the ring light next time.
That brain me up a little.
A little bit. We can maybe turn me down. Would that be better?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right,
it's gone on this long. I loved Prometheus, but I don't think it was a good movie. It had some ridiculous plot holes.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
It didn't change the fact that I loved
it. Well, like it's a good mystery. It's a good like just like wanting to know more, and like I actually like gave a shit and then watched. I watched Prometheus and then I went and watched because we watched.
I know because I made you guys all watch Prometheus.
Yeah, well, no, I had already seen Prometheus outside of you. I had already said how much I enjoyed it. We watched it again in preparation for Covenant.
Yeah, well, because
we watched Alien and Aliens. I hadn't seen the first two.
Yeah, and then we watched Prometheus. You had seen it, but Brandon and Taylor hadn't.
Correct.
Yeah.
And they like tapped out halfway through anyway because Taylor
watched it.
I think Taylor did. Taylor was knitting, and then I think she fell asleep.
Probably.
But I mean, that's
that
fair.
movie also has some real slow points.
It's a long fucking movie.
I went to go see that movie with Taylor's mom in the theater.
Oh my god!
I tricked her into it, and like, there's some kind of horrific stuff that happens in that movie, and she literally the whole time, like, she was sitting there and I convinced her to go see this movie, and she was like, okay, yeah. She's like, is it like scary? I was like, well, I don't know, I've never seen it. I was like, I don't think it's not, I don't think it's gonna be as scary as Alien, but like, it's definitely gonna be kind of like a thriller probably. And she's like, okay.
Did you lie?
Well, I didn't know. I genuinely didn't know, and from what little I had heard, like, it is a little less horror than Alien. Like, Alien is like conventional horror.
Yeah, because it's more of like you're trapped in the ship with the cat.
Right. Prometheus is a little more like
the cat's not the monster. The
ephemeral
alien's the monster.
horror. It's a little more like thought, horror of like, oh god, if this thing gets out, kind of like more of like that.
Which is just kind of a euphemism for like coming out of the closet.
Well, that's why the ship had to get shot down. And then fucking, what's her name? Oh my, Charlize Theron, who doesn't know, like, ma'am, just run
sideways.
I like the movie though.
Yeah.
But anyway, Idris Elba.
Yeah, he's hot. He was good in
did good.
Dark Tower.
Never saw it.
From it's a Stephen King series.
Right?
I never read any of the books, but I watched the movie. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
The trailer for Dune looked pretty good. I know Dune's supposed to be like a really good book, and I'm torn if I want to read the book before I see the movie.
While I was watching the trailer, like, I felt like they showed
the movie.
I felt like they showed the movie. In particular, I felt like they showed like what would presumably be like a big plot twist. And then when it like did the title, it was like Dune. I was like, okay, so maybe they felt like they could do that because like Dune is like a known like book, and it has been a movie, and like no, it hasn't been a movie, has it? It's
like if you read the books, you know the story, you get so much more out of the trailer. But for you and I, it's like, okay, he gets blue eyes at one point, but like, what does that mean? Why does that happen?
In my head, I was like, that felt like, also, that was a long trailer.
Yeah, surprise. Remember when he was like, I keep having dreams, and I'm like, Zendaya.
Like, that was a long ass trailer. It looked cool. Like, the effects looked really cool.
Since the theater. Yeah. It was all the COVID right there.
Saving it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I wanted to become the super spreader.
Just once. You are the super spreader.
It's a hot air balloon filled with the coughs of the sick.
Oh my god.
Bezos.
Jeffrey Bezos.
No, but yeah, no, he was really good. Is there anything else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else like super memorable from the movie that was like good or funny. I don't really think there was much bad. I wouldn't.
No, I was sad when Rick Flag died, but like that worked. It wasn't like
they also didn't spend half the movie on him like they did last time.
Yeah, it didn't feel like cheap or like that one was for like shock or anything. Like it was good.
And also, I'm glad everyone got their own screen time in a way, like a proportionate amount, but not in a way that made it feel like this movie has Will Smith in it.
It felt like an ensemble cast in the way that it's supposed to,
like Entourage,
right? Where there are leads, but it's an ensemble, and it felt like that, which was cool.
Oh, I got it.
Which it did. The first one did not.
No,
the first one was the Harley Quinn and Will Smith show.
Yeah. And that's
with a little bit of Joker,
baby. Well, like they're bad guys. That's what they do.
Bad guys. It's what we do.
EA Sports. It's what we do. Someone make that edit for me. I want it. Yeah, no, it was just really good. Like
it was great.
Oh, the torture scene with Harley was good.
Yeah. I was worried. I was like, this is rated R. I'm like, please don't do. I hate torture scenes. I
don't like body horror.
I can't.
Although TDK was pushing it.
It was a little bit much.
But that's the right way to do it.
Yeah. Like I can take like the other thing.
Did you notice that he had like a socket as if he was a toy?
Yes. That it literally looks like a Barbie's arms come off. And then
how it feels when it says, "All right, Reddit, do your thing."
Oh my god. It was really good. I really liked it.
I enjoyed it.
I'm glad we went to go see it in theaters too.
I am too. And we had a nice time too. And like I was surprised that there's so few. When we went to,
It was nice that there were so few people. Honestly,
we bought. I bought both of us tickets. Just
I hope the movie
it was
does well.
It was a cheap date,
but it was nice that there were so few people.
I hope you put out later and
put out some content. I already did that earlier.
Oh.
This, not the content.
You pre-conned?
Yes.
Oh man, I love all this pre-content.
Pre-con all over me.
Slurping up some Gavin goodness. Oh, that's the horror one.
Yeah.
That's the one with the cardiac arrest.
Incubus.
Macaron, we're not going to answer your question because stuff, but I'm going to just say yes.
Yeah.
I have authority. That's the only bit of lore Eric will let me confirm. Although it's rumored. Allegedly, yes. Someone has died.
In universe, it's lore.
You're right.
Well,
it's scripture.
The grimoire are more like stories.
I swear to fucking God.
We need to play though.
I played yesterday for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 4 more levels on my season pass, and I also need to log in my other characters and collect all the other shit.
I love Destiny, but they just have
boring.
not been able to hold my attention for a full season. Like
we have to just sit there and grind bounties.
I watched a little bit from Bife that was showing like the climax, and I would like stop because I was like, okay, no, I don't want to see anymore. I want to like experience it myself. And I was like, this looks really cool, and it was building that, and I'm excited for that. But I'm like, they just lost me. The seasons are too long.
They are. This next season is supposed to be the longest season because it's the last season before
Witch Queen. Well, then there needs to be like more defined events, and I'm not talking like Guardian games. I'm talking story beats. There needs to be like more peaks in the story if they're gonna keep me. Because like,
not just like a weird conversation. But that's the problem is because like you want like a DLC level where like a real DLC where it's like not the seasonal like small story, but like I had to read a lot of it or like hearing Mithrax talks, and I'm like, I don't want to sit here for this long. It was
so much of a lore dump, which like part of me was like, oh, I love that I'm getting lore, and the other part of me was like, I do love the lore, but I'm trying to play the game.
But I would have been fine if it was a cutscene.
It would have been engaging.
Because their cutscenes are all great. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it drives me up the fucking wall when they do.
The Sparrow.
If I push right. No, but when they do that thing that they do pretty commonly, where they'll do like yeah, they'll do like a really like kind of an abbreviated version of what he's saying, like in like words, and then but he'll also still be talking, and they don't match up. So it makes me want to listen to his whole thing and then read the whole thing because there's stuff in both that isn't in the other. Like,
but he goes on for so long.
I know, and like, because he'll just be like talking, and then meanwhile the text will like give like a little bit more background and everything. It'll be like, you can hear how like conflicted Mithrax is or whatever. Like the meeting with Saint seemed to be weighing on him that he doesn't say. So it's like you need both, but other like some of the lines will line up.
You should have made it like go over to him and like make it because it's like he's just talking to you through the servitor. I thought it was weird you couldn't just talk to him.
Yeah,
it wasn't it wasn't easily explained why we're talking to a servitor and not him.
Yeah, I just hate when they do that, and that's not just of this season.
I figured he was in his gamer chair, like Wade.
Yeah,
from Kim Possible.
Oh, I thought you meant from Recess. Oh, wasn't one of them named Wade?
Well, JT Detweiler, but then who was the big guy? Mikey.
No, Mikey was the
Gus. Gus was the army boy. Spinelli that was actually an Ashley.
Yeah.
And then there was Mikey was the big kid.
There's the nerdy girl.
The nerdy girl Gretchen.
Yep.
I think that's it. It's JT Detweiler.
It was the guy with the hat. The nerdy girl.
Wait, guy with the hat? Oh, JT Detweiler.
The big guy.
Mikey. Gretchen. Gus, the army boy. And then the girl with the hat is Spinelli. Boy. He was the small one who had like the high and tight.
Got it. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And there was like the whole thing where it's like he's so hot and he's like, I just think about the last time I had water. It makes me feel better. And I'm like, same.
Yeah. I didn't like that show very much. It was okay.
It was very okay.
If it was on, I didn't turn it off, but I never.
You know what show was better than that?
What was that?
And deserves a 2021 revival.
Tell me.
Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide.
I never watched that.
You're missing out. It still holds up well.
Weren't those books?
No.
Are you sure?
I mean, I had my own like composition book that I bought and would write down the tips so that I would know them for when I went to high school.
I'm almost sure that was a book.
I don't think I have that notebook.
Isn't it Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
No, 2 different things.
Oh.
They made those into movies.
Really?
Yeah, Nessie Classify was on Nick.
Oh.
And it had Cookie, who had a printer in his butt. He was like a cyborg. But he wasn't.
Did it have the coconut head kid?
Yeah, coconut head. And backpack kid. And they had like the one teacher who I believe he was like the computer lab guy. And he was like a wizard. And he always like rolled dice and shit. It was real. Like, the show's a gem. And now I kind of want to go back and watch it and see if it still holds up.
Yeah.
Because it should.
Oh, I was going to say Disney Plus, but it's not Disney. It's Nick.
No. Entourage, as I looked up. Because we also need to get to Quick Wit Wit. You guys actually, we cut down on questions and talked for a long time, but I don't know how much time we killed before we actually started. But we've been talking a while.
Less than 10 minutes.
It doesn't feel like we talked for this long.
Yeah.
But I don't care. We're good.
Okay.
Are you a little worried?
I mean, it's long.
I mean, they love it. You fucking love it. Like and subscribe, comment.
Stop dressing like you love it so much. Creepy breathing.
My name is Is this bully for me? I keep thinking about it. I kind of want to make it my text tone. So it just goes, is this bully for me? Fucking dead. Or as when the more recent meme has been, hasta la vista.
My God.
Because I was like, I had gotten stoned earlier in the day, and then I like streamed at like the end of it, and I was still like a little groggy, and I was like, yeah, we're like, take care of this. I'm like, hasta la vista to this guy, and I'm just like, oh no, that's not it. It's hasta la vista.
We never like took note of when the spoilers stop.
The hands.
Spoilers are over.
Just now? Oh, when the spoilers stopped.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, well. Life is for the living.
I mean, we could just click around and find something close.
Yeah.
I'm not going to find the exact second that it stopped. Like, you guys can do it. Entourage, as I looked up. So I started to do some more research into the show.
Okay.
For the meme.
Yeah.
Because you will all appreciate Entourage. Aside from it basically being a rat pack for the 21st century, apparently it was inspired by Mark Wahlberg and his friends.
Mm.
And they tried to make it a bit more fun and less focused on Mark Wahlberg and his violent past.
I was like, and the violence and racism.
Yeah, we just ignore that bit. Remember, he was in the Departed, which is a great movie. One of my favorites, personally.
Runs on Duncan. Isn't he from Boston?
Yeah, cream pie. That's what they're known for. They're cream pies.
That's what they're known for.
I gotta show you the fucking It's Always Sunny episode about the cream pies.
Okay,
it's great.
Somehow, the only episode of that show that I've seen all the way through
is the Charlie McDennis. No,
the one where they're like, where he has the cereal bowl. Yeah, it's a great episode.
The Reynolds versus where he disproves God.
Yes, it's a great episode, and I've never watched a full episode of the show except that one, which I've seen 3 times.
It's an amazing episode. It's a really good episode. The Reynolds versus Reynolds, the cereal defense. It's you stupid bitch. But why were you eating? Oh, I could talk for hours about that show. Yeah. Entourage. So there's 8 seasons of this fucking show.
Oh, I really only want to watch the first and last.
And a movie.
Oh, my God.
Do you want to know how the movie ends?
No. Do you?
I already read it.
Why?
Well, no. I just read the very last little bit. I didn't read the whole like boring shit where like there's plot. I didn't care about that. I'm like,
does it end with Weasel?
You just replace Weasel. We should have a guest on, and that guest is just Weasel, and we just Photoshop him in. Actually, you know what? I kind of want one of those fat heads or like a giant cutout of Weasel because I think he would terrify me.
My brain just catapulted back to 2008 when you said fat heads. Jesus Christ.
Don't you want to put Brett Favre on your wall? You could just... John Cena at one point in the movie does that, and then Idris Elba going... Like he's dodging the cum that was good. The best acting I've ever seen in my entire life. So it's got so much shit. The ending to the movie is the most aggravating thing I've ever seen. Not Suicide Squad. Entourage. I've read. Do you want to know how it ends, or do you want to watch the movie that has a 33% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes?
I'm torn because, like, I hate movies, so I'm not gonna want to watch it.
No, but we would hate watch it.
Yeah.
Because, like, I know how it ends, and it's...
Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
I think this is what we do. I think we watch the very first episode.
Yes.
We watch the very last episode.
Yeah.
And then we watch a movie.
I agree.
Maybe we try to find a quick synopsis of everything that happens that we could just like read. Or no synopsis.
I don't think we can read the synopsis. We can read a synopsis afterward.
Of all the seasons?
Yeah.
To try to like, because I feel like we're going to watch the first episode, then we're going to watch the last episode, and there's going to be a shit ton of characters we don't know.
Exactly.
We don't
and
need
I'm
to
okay
know.
with that though. And then
if I still got from A to B, why does it matter how I got there?
I'm okay with then going back and reading a synopsis, but I want to go in cold. First episode, last episode,
and then the movie.
And then be like, how did this happen? And then try to figure it out.
8 seasons.
That's insane.
Which makes
on Stars?
Which part of me's like...
So people paid for that.
Because like even just like hearing some of like small readings of shit, right? Because I've been interested now. Not enough to actually fucking watch it yet. Because I also want to save and just watch it with you. Like,
wait, it wasn't actually on Stars, was it?
No, it is.
Oh, I thought... Okay.
No, that's not a bit. No. It was... The whole thing was that it's not on HBO. It's on Stars.
Got it. You remember Encore?
Oh, God.
No one.
Oh, yeah. You guys remember Channel 95? On Last? Okay.
You know when like
we'll have to do that soon though.
When you like your TV remote would have like the like return button or whatever, where it would jump you back to the last channel, so you'd be watching something like that you like weren't supposed to watch, or that you were embarrassed to be seen watching, and you'd be like holding that remote on that return button with like and like the last channel you had was like Discovery or something. It was something stupid, and you're just like. And
then as soon as you like you heard someone coming up, you hit like return, and then you did a channel up and channel down real quick so that even if they had tried to hit return, because Jerry, that's how Jerry busted me for watching Playboy on the TV.
Double return.
I didn't do the double return.
Oh,
I hit return to go back to Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
and then he clicked it, and they went to the Playboy channel, and he was like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
He said, "Your remote."
I was like, I know when I turned on the TV the other day, like I accidentally hit the button and like I went to it, and he goes, "Oh, well, sometimes they do like free trials of this or whatever." And I was like, okay. And I was like, I've been doing this for like a month. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Jerry just
pays.
Well, because he slept on the couch. He never like he only slept with my mom in the bed with her for like a year.
Oh.
Like once we moved to Arizona, I don't think they ever slept in the same room. And like our couch had like an actual dent, like a true dent. Which I get really self-conscious about when I like sit on the same spot on the couch for too long. Like I will never make a dent that bad because I don't sleep in the same physical spot all the time.
Yeah.
But it's like, ooh, you got to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
The problem is there's more optimal positions on a couch.
Right. There's always like, you're sitting there because it's the best seat.
Because it's in the middle. I don't want to sit in the middle of 2 cushions.
You got to rotate the cushion. You need a couch.
Anyway,
you can rotate
fucker was fucking paying for it and then got mad because I found out. And I was beating it to it.
Fucking around and finding out.
I'm like, I really wanted to watch this very softcore porn. And so I guess I'll just go back on your computer and go on Gaia Online in the puzzle rooms and sex chat with, fellow teens. Who I'm sure we're not.
Club Penguin.
Oh no, Gaia Online. You could do the puzzle games where you do puzzles and make them harder, and you could join like a room. And people would just sext in the puzzle rooms. And I was like 14. Why? I was horny.
No, not why would you do it? I know why you would do it.
Well, that's also why they would do it. They're horny and probably like preying on shit.
Yeah.
Quick wit.
Grooming and booming.
Grooming and brooming?
Grooming and booming. Boomer groomers.
They hate it when you call them out. 9 out of 10 boomer groomers hate this.
Oh my God.
What is it? Dealing with trauma.
Quick wit.
Yeah, because we're gonna not speed run, but we're gonna do it really quickly.
Yeah, we're gonna do it quick.
No, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I feel like each
find out.
If we keep hitting limits on ourselves, we're never gonna fly. If the people don't want to watch a 3-hour video, then they won't.
You're right.
I don't want to do a 3-hour video.
Some people are gonna have to skip the spoiler section anyway.
That's true. This is the content for them. For our longtime subscribers,
first time listeners.
You fucking assholes. I mean, not really. That's the support, but the view.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got it.
Oh yeah.
Question time. What is it? Peaked audio is what it is.
Oh. Gondor calls for aid. I see it across the peaks of the audio. See, I brought it back. All right. So, thank you guys all for all of your questions. As we stated in the last video, I no longer am putting out the questions on my Discord only because we get a lot.
Simplicity's
And
sake.
yeah, just to be a bit more simple, and then I don't have to sit here and like tether them. So we just do it all on the YouTube.
Slipknot.
Yeah, Slipknot.
Did you ever listen to Slipknot?
I have once or twice.
Yeah.
Psychosocial or
You know the song Blurry by Puddle of Mud? You'd know it if you heard it.
That's why I don't know it, but I'm
Everything's
sure.
so blurry. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
a good song. When I realized that song came out in like 1998 or something,
You were 5.
that was something I didn't need to
I
hear.
was 6. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That realization, like I didn't realize that song was that old because I was like, oh yeah, I loved this song, and then it was like, yeah, this came out in the 90s. I was like, it came out in the 90s.
Oh my god. When I was at Christian summer camp,
Was it maybe like I was listening to this at 6 years old?
I had like a weird foot fungus, and I had to like soak my foot in this like yellow liquid,
It was piss.
and like they nicknamed me Mud with 2 D's because I fell in the mud one day.
Okay.
I don't know if that's
What
related
did that
to the
have
toe
to do
thing.
with the foot
This was
fungus
all
and
at Christian camp. At the
Okay.
at the wagon train
This
camp.
is all going on in my Christian camp.
No, the wagon train camp was fucking baller, dude. I'll talk about it some other time.
Okay.
As in, someone asked the question, so I'll remember to talk about it. But wagon train camp with the zip lines and the guy who had holes in his underwear and the rabbit skins. It was a good time.
Okay.
Lots of Jesus. He wasn't there, unfortunately. His
was
scheduling
there,
conflict.
He was there in Holy Spirit.
Well, no, he tried to fly Spirit Airlines.
There wasn't enough leg room.
Holes. Okay, so if you would like your question answered,
Then ask it.
and make sure it's good, or it won't be.
Yeah.
Is there any other rules?
There's been some questions that like I know that like a lot of you guys come here from my channel.
Mostly from me in
Redacted.
my stream.
Redacted ASMR.
Who?
He's like a small time YouTuber. I don't know. I know a lot of you guys came from that, and I appreciate that. It's really cool. But most like if your questions are like about like my channel stuff or whatever, like for the most part, like my characters kind of thing. For the most part, like let's kind of keep those more with like my streams and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if it's like you want my opinion on things, like anyone who's like especially been around in my stream or have like seen and heard the podcast a lot, like I don't consume any of it. So it's not that I wouldn't like to answer it. It's just that you're never getting a good answer out of me because I don't know.
Yeah. And like I at least from my perspective, I like when the questions are kind of stuff that like we can both answer.
Mhm.
So that's
I don't mind a single answer, but it's more so just like I'm like, because I know you don't really want to like, you'd rather just talk about it on one of your live streams when like there's more people that are interested. It'll get the conversation going, get the people pumped. And over here, we want you relaxed.
Calm.
Have a good day. There's no other choice. Question time.
Question.
Quick wait. I refreshed it, and now all the questions that I originally read, no, they're all gone. They all deleted. It's no. So, question for both from Maria. Do you have any tattoos and or piercings? If so, how many? What's the meaning behind the tattoos if you do? And are you planning to get any more? If you don't mind, would you share any ideas? Maria, you asked like 4 goddamn questions in this one, and then you asked 2 more. We're going to answer them, but you're on thin ice. And the thin ice almost broke with the millennial joke and Suicide Squad, so don't break the ice. Unless like you're just getting into the community and then like, welcome.
Unless
Icebreaker.
you're playing that game, that break the ice game.
Pokey.
Yeah.
Pokey. It's Pokemon.
Pokey. Yeah. It's you
With the
lately.
Moist Critical, the game. Right? Penguin Z0, isn't that like is
Penguin Z0?
I don't know.
I don't have any tattoos.
You do have piercings.
I do have piercings.
Don't you have a Prince Charles?
Prince Albert.
I've never met him.
It's like
Is that a fat Albert? Do it on your chode?
No, my ears are pierced. I don't have any tattoos.
My ears aren't the elfian ears though.
Correct. I don't have any. I have considered getting them in the past, but like I haven't found anything that I like enough that I think I would want it long term. So I'm not. I think they're cool, and I might get one someday. But as of yet, new.
I have 3. I guess I don't know if you guys can see it. I have this in Arabic. It says maktub. It it means I'm the Joker baby. It means written, as in like it is written, from Paul Coelho's The Alchemist, which now, as a 28-year-old man who's like been around a bit, it's nothing really like to write home about. It's kind of it's fine. But when I read it when I was 20, it was a message that I really needed to hear at the time. That now I'd kind of be like, eh. Yeah, so like it's not as good on like a second read through for me, But at the time, it was really important. It was really good. And it's sort of, it is written as in, like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So don't stress too much because, like, if it wasn't going to happen, then it didn't happen. Except casino money.
Well,
Casino money.
that wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah. I also have a VFD tattoo from Series of Unfortunate Events, which is what...
Fickle...
Dicks.
Tots.
No, VFD.
D.
Yeah. So, in a Series of Unfortunate Events, there's Lemony Snicket, there's the big villain Count Olaf, who has the VFD tattoo that looks like an eye above his left ankle, and that's how they identify him in all of his costumes throughout the books.
Oh yeah,
because he'll put like makeup on it or something, or have like a peg leg that's fake.
Yeah,
all of this stuff to like get away with like not seeing the identical thing. And so there's a lot of stuff as they start to figure it out. Yeah,
it's on your leg.
Yeah.
I literally never knew that one. I knew I've heard I did not know that's what that was. I've heard the it's written thing a lot.
The VFD, it's not, this design in particular isn't as pronounced, but you can kind of see where it's the V and then it's like a F, like an A stylized with a D. Mm-hmm. And like this is like the symbol they have for it. I also have the homunculus tattoo from Full Metal Alchemist on my calf, but I don't want to spin around and present it on your table. But yeah, the VFD one's really fucking cool. It's my favorite one. I got that after a stressful day at work. Mm-hmm. I went to Shake Shack afterwards.
There you go.
I don't know why, but it's because that's right where my tattoo shop was on Mill.
The one you used to own.
Well, my tattoo shop that I used to be at, or that I used to go to, that I got those two at, was with Joey at a Tattooed Planet right there by Chuckbox.
Oh.
So
I still never went to Chuckbox.
It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's not as good because like it's still the memory. Like nothing's ever as good as the first time I had it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no. So those are my 3 tattoos. They're cool. I want more. I want to get a full sleeve. I'm still torn every day about it. And I'm just saving up money so I can just kind of do it all at once.
Just get,
Joker baby.
Normal as a setting on a dryer.
Oh my god, daddy's little monster.
Yeah, and on the inside of the arm, you need to have, it's what we do.
It's what we do.
Oh, we're bad guys.
I'm just gonna get, it's not the fallen.
It's not the fallen.
But yeah, so there's that. Odie, you almost worked overnight in a sex shop? Yes. I applied for a job. So when I had quit the startup that I was working at, quit.
When you quit the startup.
When I quit the startup, Glengarry Leads, which was a scam, but I got a Chromebook out of it. It was the whole thing.
Your leads are weak.
Leads are weak. You're weak. I needed to find a job, and like I was still working for the rabbi with doing the banners for bands, so like all like the backdrops and shit, which I just did from like his office in his house next to the Chabad house, and all that. And I go to it. It's off of Rural. It's that one. You know what sex shop I'm talking about? It's right by the light rail. Rural and Baseline, I think.
I think so.
And it's got like a weird like wooden roof that looks like really angled. That's a sex shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
So I ride my bike there in my disgusting straight guy plaid shorts that my mom bought me, and like this yellow ASU polo. The colors clash. It was like yellow and brown, like a fucking banana.
Yeah.
And like
a banana going bad.
Oh, and I still had my bedazzled glasses. The ones that Brandon made fun of me for. My hipster glasses that I actually got before everyone else. Which was poor timing. But like...
Yeah.
Because if they would have got there a week sooner, I would have been a trendsetter. That's the problem. They're like, are they even real? And then my prescription wasn't that strong. So it's like, they're not even real. And I'm like, yes, they are. They give me HD. Heavy dick.
And UVA, UVB protection.
No.
Oh.
Ugly vaginas?
Anonymous.
UVA.
UVA.
Oh, I love that. Isn't that My Hero Academia, UVA?
Yeah.
I don't know. Boku no Hero?
Boko no Bakugo Hero Manamia.
How about you Baka go back to school?
Todoroki on out of here. Todoroku.
What's the one with the nuts on his head?
The nuts on his head. Isabel from Smash Brothers.
Yeah, no, it's the My Hero Academia. He wears a diaper and he's got balls on his head. Purple hair. He's got like little balls. He's super horny.
I don't know.
It's the one everyone hates. He's got like a mohawk of balls.
I'll take your word for it, but I don't know. The only one I know is
He's got gloves.
Bakugo's the angry one.
Mm-hmm.
Deku is
a nut.
Green. Todoroki has like the split hair.
Oh, that's Todoroki?
Because he does like fire and ice, I think.
Oh,
that's why he has like
the
white
ones all
hair
the
and
MBs
red
do
hair.
on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I've seen those.
And there's one that they always compare Asher to.
Mount Lady.
Shima? I don't know. I don't know them.
You don't watch anime?
I don't. There's one where like he turns into like a rock.
Oh, the rock guy.
Yeah.
The Thing.
They say he's like... They're actually talking about Fantastic Four.
Yeah. It's actually just...
Kirishima or Kirishima. However you'd say that. I don't know.
What's the actor's name who plays the Thing? He was also in The Shield. It's just Michael Chiklis. Michael Chiklis as Todoroki. No, wrong. Yeah, as Todoroki. He's wearing a shitty fucking toupee. And he's like, part of me's fire, but the other part of me's ice. How do I balance this? But he's a big fucking 50-year-old man.
God.
Oh my God. But yeah, so I applied for this sex shop and they gave me an interview.
Yeah.
And they were like, are you going to be cool with like working overnights by yourself? You might have to kick people out. There's also like jerk off rooms and there's like full on porn playing on all the TVs because it's a sex shop. They also had a theater or like stalls to jerk off into.
That's the part that I'm like, really?
That's too much. Like I'd work at Castle.
Right.
Because it's big and open and you can't hide.
Or Fascinations, like, you know who did.
Wint.
Yeah. I was about to say the part of that. I can't.
It's a really good. It's a really good joke, but
you guys don't get to know. I'm sorry.
That's just for me. That's for me.
That's the one.
That's the one.
That is the one.
Oh my God! But so like, there's all this porn playing, which like was fine.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "So do you think you'll be all right with it?" I'm like, I don't know. Like what would I need to do? He's like, well, you might have to like get physical and push people out. You might have to call the cops. You know, you'll probably have to, you know, yes. And he's like, are you cool with all this? All the dicks and titties? And I'm like,
all the poles and holes.
And I'm like, I look this. That's me when I fall through the floor. I'm Polish. Not full pole.
Just
Polish.
the hole.
Just the hole.
Just the holes.
Just the O.
They're holes.
I'm just the L.
Well,
I'm the E.
I'm the...
You know that breath you take when the water's a little too cold?
Every breath
That's
you take.
me.
Every step you take.
That's me creeping into your body. And I go... Oh.
I jump in.
I jump in, like, I grab your tonsils and I ride them down. That's why you get that little, like, tickle in the back of your throat. That's me and my little feet. My little hobbit feet. Tickling down. And then I get in your stomach and I go, where's your gallbladder?
Not through the stomach.
And then I punch until I find it.
Find it.
Just go down.
So you interviewed for
if I could, like, Miss Frizzle shrink down, I would go into your body and I'd punch your nuts from the inside.
That's fair.
Also, what do balls look like?
I don't know.
I want to know what they look like.
Well, you can see like what like bull testicles look like.
Yeah, but what happens if I cut my nutsack?
What about
Will they fall out?
You'd have to cut real deep, but it can, yeah.
My balls can fall out.
Yes. Put them back up where they came from. Then you can't lose them.
It's like a
God put them there for a reason. Just pop them back in.
Oh, my balls are my God-given right.
Yeah.
That hasn't been a problem ever. Anyway, I didn't get the job.
That's
because he said, I think you should look somewhere else. You're pretty soft. And I was just like, I mean, that's fair. Have a good day. That's not what I said. He was like, I'll give you a call back. And I was like, all right, thanks. But like, I knew.
Yeah.
And like, it wouldn't be a good fit. So instead I worked overnights at a hotel.
Dirty, wet $1 bill. And he said, you're soft.
And I said, no. And he goes, you'll never make it.
And he slapped you across the face with the $1 bill.
With the wet cummy bill?
Not cum. Don't be gross.
Sorry, dried cum. And he tried to rinse it off with water.
It was sweat. Because he'd been sitting on it while jacking off.
Dear Advice Girl asks, Eric and Odie,
Hi.
about each other.
Oh.
What is something the other guy doesn't give himself enough credit for?
Oh.
And then you can start with the next one when you're ready.
What's something you don't give yourself enough credit for? I talk to you about this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You constantly feel like you have to defend every decision that you make. It's the Cheez-Its.
It's always the Cheez-Its.
And you don't. Like, you're a competent, good person who makes the choices that he thinks are right in the moment, and you don't have to defend them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Perfect. You a better friend than you realize.
Oh.
Because you definitely get like stuck in your own bubble, but like quite literally all it takes is like you sent me a meme the other day. And I was like, he's good. I don't have to worry about you. You're fine. Like, it's like, even like to you, it seems like an inconsequential effort, like makes a difference. And like, I know you sometimes, maybe not necessarily outwardly say it, but like, I could tell sometimes you probably feel like you're kind of a shitty friend, which then makes you just want to not be friendly because you don't feel like you're being friendly, which is like the opposite of what you should do.
Yeah.
But, I see you. That's it.
Good.
Yeah. And you're packing schmeat.
Yeah.
So, you don't give yourself enough credit.
Well, neither did ASU. All those AP classes.
FAFSA, I understand that I'm not qualified. You don't have to keep reminding me every month.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you know I'm not qualified to get more financial assistance to school I don't go to?
I did happen to know that.
Hey, summer classes are starting soon. Spring, have you? There's not too late to register for fall classes. And I'm like, it is.
It's also never too early.
It's
Sign
always
up for next year.
College is right when it's supposed to happen. You don't have to go to college to be successful. Just make a good YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Steal Eric's content.
Wish you wouldn't. I'll take you down.
Change the names to
Wavy and Dasher.
Gavin and make it Bavin.
Wind. Okay. Maria asks, what's one thing your pet could say that would completely ruin your image if they could talk?
A slur.
Yeah. That would be a bad
that was a joke, but like not really. Like if the first thing that like my cat said was like a slur, I'd be like, where the fuck did you hear this?
Yeah.
Because I didn't say it that many times.
Yeah. He shouldn't have been listening. His little ears.
He was licking his asshole.
That's the worst thing your cat could say, is that he likes the taste of his own ass.
No, it would be if he said, where do you go? That would break me. Oh. Especially if he did it like...
That wouldn't look bad on you, though. That would just make you sad.
Yeah, I still wouldn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
And also, if he said, I love you, I'd be like, my boy.
Like that Grimoire card where Ghost says, I love you. That card, I found that card randomly, and I was like, I didn't need this at this point in my life. There was a moment where I was just like, this is too
But that's
real.
just how history is remembered. That's not as rules as intended, not rules as written.
It was really sad.
But it's like, it's sweet. Ghost in person.
It was very sweet.
Nolan North is crammed inside the little ghost shell.
His legs are trying to get out.
He's like a mimic in Dark Souls where their like legs snatch out and they're nasty. I was playing Dark Souls 2. There has not been a single fucking mimic the entire game. There are a few trapped chests.
Your sword is the mimic.
No.
He's waiting.
The first time I get to this fucking Brightstone Cove, Sildura or whatever.
Okay.
And like I go through this whole thing and I come back up like in this other like little building encampment right near the bonfire. And I like had to go down the well and everything for it. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, not a big deal. Like, I'll just open up this chest. I'm like, because I'm always like, it's a fucking mimic. But I don't know what they look like. Mm-hmm. I didn't count. I'm sorry. I counted one before that. Just one. But like, I had seen that it had teeth. I immediately rolled away and hit it twice because it's a full strength build. And like, I killed it before it could actually like transform where it gets its really long limbs and stands up. This one in this little area, it scared the shit out of me. And like, it like grows arms and legs and then like goes into a back bend where its body is still the chest and it like is like crawling at you and then it like swings over.
Oh no.
I let it kill me. I was like, fuck, dude. I'm not here for that.
In Dead Space, did you ever let him kill you so you could see what it looked like?
What, let who kill you? Or any of the necromorphs?
Any of the necromorphs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I also died a lot. Yeah. So like,
because like some of them are really cool.
Oh yeah, they do some like great ways.
I remember like the one if you actually, which is like you basically have to like do it on purpose, but the divider if the divider head kills you and it snaps your head off and then puts its head on you and then it just like turns the camera and like makes like the creepy like scream noise.
Oh, I didn't see that. But you have to let him do it basically.
Yeah, because it's when like the divider breaks apart. Like
I don't even remember the divider.
Really tall, really skinny guy. It looks kind of like a normal person, but he's really tall and he makes this weird like. Really, like,
it's been so long since I played Dead Space. I plan on replaying it soon.
Well, the remake's coming out, and I'm so excited for that.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be out for a while.
Okay, so
I'm
I have
really
time.
excited for it.
Yeah, well, that'll be fun.
Basically, it divides into like the arm, the leg, and the head, and they're all pieces.
You should come over to my house tomorrow, and we'll play a game on stream.
Okay, what game?
Boyfriends or weapons? Date your weapons. It's a dating combat simulator.
Okay.
It's the right vibe.
Yeah, I can do that tomorrow.
You're not busy.
I'm making sure.
I've decided.
I'm busy Saturday, so I need to make sure it was good. But yeah,
I am. I'm going to my dad's.
All right, cool.
Was there anything else with that? No.
Nope, that was that.
Okay. Well, thanks.
That was that on that.
Yep. Male bees mate, their sexual organs explode. Yes, I knew that.
Oh.
Blue Sky said, since we both love clowns.
Yep.
And I know Redacted does not consume media, but surely, especially given both of your love for clowns, you have an opinion. Who wore it, the clown, better? Stephen Curry or Bill Skarsgård? Right?
Skarsgård.
Yeah, Skarsgård's way better than...
Those It movies were just a lot better.
I didn't even see it, but like just from what I've seen, it's much more terrifying. But that also could come with age.
I'm sure that's part of it. I mean, like...
Special effects.
Curry is a great actor. I love him in Clue. As
Speaking
Wadsworth. But yeah.
I don't know. No. These are nice comments. I appreciate it. People crying in tears. Always important. Lady Callie saying defund the Paw Patrol, which funny you say that. There was a giant Paw Patrol poster outside the theater, so I took a picture flipping it off, and I'll have you send it to me or just post it on the Discord. You don't act. I
can't know
you're not in my Discord. That's fine.
The unfathomable pain of being perceived. I don't know about all that.
I love that meme of like, don't perceive me.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I was in Coco's stream the other day and like I saw Sin and I was like, hey Sin, and they're like, or no, I saw Evie and Evie's like, don't perceive me. And I'm like, that's fair. Smitty the Scribbler had said it's not a fly anymore, it's a walk in reference, which was a great that's not even a dad joke, that's a grandpa pun. It's not a pun, it's just a joke because puns wordplay. But it's close, understandable. It's like affect, effect, same energy.
It's a funny haha.
But it ain't haha funny shit.
Exactly.
So you've talked about Star Trek and Star Wars. What are your thoughts on the third point in the trifecta, Stargate?
I never watched it. I wasn't interested.
Cool. I liked it. I own the 20th anniversary Blu-ray of the Stargate movie, which isn't that great. But like the show is fucking amazing. I've seen every episode, I believe, because my stepbrother had all the seasons and watched all of it, which there's the one where they're about to get blown up and time stops. So they have to they live out like 80 years of their life in this like time void trying to see if they could solve the problem before the ship gets like blown up by the laser because they can see the blast.
There's a Star Trek episode like that.
Similar concept.
Although they don't commit to it for it being like 80 years.
Well, the thing is like Teal, basically like the one dude with the brand on his head who's defected from Ra's army because all the pyramids are for like aliens to harvest. Like it's a whole thing with Stargates and shit. But like he decides to be the one to like set the thing, like blow up the nuclear reactor thing that's on the ship to give them enough time and move, but essentially time will reset for everybody but him. Mm-hmm. And so even though he'll be back in his like younger body, he'll still have all the memories of the relationships and everything that happened. Mm-hmm. And so he just carries that on. I want to say that's finale, but I don't remember. Daniel's awesome in it though. Daniel, I forget what the full name of the guy, because I think it's Daniel Jackson, who like becomes like a pseudo god. He dies at one point, but he's like the guy who like uncovers the language and whatnot. He's like their nerdy linguist guy who ends up being a total fucking Chad and gets every babe, but not in a like, oh, the horny nerd needs to get laid, but in like oh no, he gets the real romance through time and space.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I liked it. You've never seen it.
Yeah.
Love to laugh _Crystal said, my question for you guys is, who is someone that has inspired you in your life? Doesn't have to be famous, and how did they inspire you? I guess that's technically two questions.
deep question. I'm not really inspired by famous people. So I appreciate that they gave the clarifier that it doesn't have to be. I don't know. I don't really. That's just not really a thing for me. Like I don't have any like celebrity hero kind of thing that a lot of people have that. I don't really have that.
Or maybe like influential person might be a better word.
Yeah. I had some teachers that really kind of like feel like they like set me on, on the right track kind of thing. Like Miss Erickson was definitely one of them.
She was great.
She, in addition to just being like a great, like, a teacher in the subject she was doing, she was also, doing like the academic and everything. And she really got me to do that. And I was hesitant to do that because like I knew there was like speech and impromptu speech and interview and everything. And I was like so much more socially anxious back then. And because she was like, no, you would be good at it. Like, I want you to try to do this. And so like I did, and it really did help with a lot of that stuff. So she definitely was a big influence.
That's good. I think for me, like Mr. Z, which a lot of people didn't like, but like I loved him, and definitely like I took his like the college credit English, which I didn't pay the money for it to take the English credit.
Yeah,
but like because we didn't have money, so still fun. That was my most enjoyable class. Taught me how to write papers the right way, and like our rough draft was graded on your folder, the sound it made with all of your like your print and your bibliography and annotated bibliography and everything.
Yeah.
If it didn't make a good enough sound when it dropped and hit the desk, you failed. It was pass fail for the rough draft part of it.
Okay.
Like totally fucking crazy, like how it works. But it's more so that like they should all sound roughly the same.
Couldn't you just stuff paper in it?
Well, that's what like nobody knew how he was going to grade it until that day. So it's like maybe someone tried to do it, but like last minute, I don't know if they could because I think he like maybe like flipped through it. I don't even know if he opened it.
I don't know.
But like that was just the rough draft because that's the rough draft's always the hardest part.
Miss McDermott did a thing where
I could see everything you do. I got eyes like a bat.
Oh no, yeah, we already talked about this. We're like literally like we did like the long form thing. Like spent like
and then she threw it away,
hours and hours, and then took them and was like, I read the first 2 of these and they were crap, so I'm throwing them all away. She threw them all away in front of us, and then was like, we're gonna do a new one on a new book.
That's a fucking power move.
I was so pissed because I was like, mine wasn't bad.
She didn't. Well, unless she read yours first. You never thought about that, did you?
It couldn't have been mine. Couldn't have been me. Because I did the same basic thing on the next one and I got an A. So I'm like,
unless she realized that they're not going to improve.
I think she did it on like I don't think she actually read 2 of them and they were bad. I'm pretty sure this is a bit she just does.
Yeah.
I don't think she opened any of them. I think it's this like weird like kind of power play of like make them think they're shit and then I'm gonna like make them better.
Yeah. But also like because especially if you guys had never done a long form before, this was the first one. It's like, well, fuck, I want some feedback or something, and it's like, no, it's just shit.
Well, and I'm sure some of them were like truly terrible.
She also could have just been hungover. I just didn't actually want to grade them all. Like, not that I don't think she drank or anything. You know what I mean? Like that energy of like understanding now that like we're the age that some of our teachers were, where it's like, oh, we're watching Bill Nye. I'm like, you're hungover. And
you
I
had a rough night.
For me, I mean, I guess Mr. Stevens was it, or Mr. Stevens, which I know Taylor did not like, but I really loved him. He was the definition of like a safe place. He's very like, if you could dish it and you can take it, you got so much more out of that because like Taylor can't take it.
In general,
she can dish it.
Depends on who it's coming from.
That's true, but she has to already have a level of comfort.
Yeah, you can't open with that.
No. Are you crying?
When I yawn, I cry. It's because I have that moment.
Do you fear sleep?
I think about the future.
Do you fear unconscious?
I fear void.
That's a little odd though. That like made me nervous. Did I make you cry?
No, every time I yawn, I cry.
Well, I smile.
Well, it's like I cry all the time when I laugh too. Like if I like actually like laugh decently,
like a good laugh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I almost cried when we were watching the movie.
But I never cry when I'm like happy. Like there are people who like cry when they're like so like overcome with happiness. I never had that. I cry from laughter, but that to me is like a physical like.
Yeah.
It's just because like all that. Yeah, I've never cried from being happy.
Oh. I don't know. I mean, I have, but like, I don't know. It depends. It's more of like it's a fulfillment thing as opposed to just pure like happiness or joy, like seeing somebody after a very long time or whatnot, or something you thought was not going to be there ends up being there, and it was like against all odds.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the ending of Big Fish, which makes me cry
sounds like
every
you're talking
time.
about the ending of Homeward Bound when they get there and you didn't think they were going to get there.
Oh man, so close.
Oh my god, when Chance gets out of the hole though, and he like comes limping up. Oh my god,
I know it's too much.
God. That movie breaks me.
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Is it
because it broke?
Are we talking about Race to Witch Mountain with?
Talking about Ray's Pizza?
Pizza?
You hungry?
You want to? No. Well, I had a burrito.
Oh, it's already 9.
Oh,
too
fuck.
late to eat.
Yeah. All right. Regular gal asked if you could change the ending to any story you've ever seen, read, listened to. What would you change and why?
If I could change my fate,
would you?
I'd get rid of the campaign to Halo 5.
That changes the ending.
I just really didn't like it because I loved the ending of Halo 4. And so then Halo 5 kind of like felt like a disservice to that. So I would probably change that one just because like I loved Halo 4. I figured out part of what I like about Halo 4 is like
hot.
Well, yeah, but also like she dies, but like in a really meaningful way. Halo 4 managed to capture the hopelessness that Halo like Reach had, and they did it in a way that like it you still are having a like
because you still want to believe there's a chance.
Yeah, like because they've done so much. Like Halo 1, like against the odds you win. Halo 2, Halo 3,
You're sending the Covenant back their bomb.
Yeah, you always win even under these like incredible odds. Halo 4 is the first time where it's kind of like you keep setting up these plans and they keep failing, and like you carry on, but like it just has this like this hopelessness that's really poignant that like I wouldn't want like every Halo to be like that, because then it would start to feel meaningless. But after it having been so like high and amazing for so long, for it to have this one where it's just like, no, like it just isn't always gonna work. Like you're not gonna get Cortana home in time. Like, yeah, they come up with this insane plan of, and you're like, well, yeah, because like, I'm flash cloned from Dr. Halsey's brain. Like if we can get back to Earth in time, like maybe we can recreate those circumstances and I will be fine. I'll be the only AI to survive rampancy. And she's not. They don't make it.
And so she's not in Halo 5, is she?
She is. They bring her back in this really contrived shit way, and now she's a villain. And I'm like, just let her be dead. Like that, like
it's okay to
like
die.
I cried.
They killed Cade.
Yeah.
And they've kept with it.
Kept him dead.
I
That's
genuinely
how it should be.
Like we all thought like is completing Deepstone Crypt. Because at least then if Cade came back and he'd be Cade 7 now.
Right. With like
or whatever.
Only the barest of memories of
again.
The same way
like,
that he can like barely remember his previous
the Ace. Like is it just his memories he's remembering or his memories of memories? Like like that was the like they actually wrote themselves into a position to do that and it not be like contrived. That there's like it's like a weird side effect thing, but instead they went the whole like let's do Taniks again, and it's like that works kind of.
Yeah.
And like how funny, since Cade has killed Taniks, and we have multiple times. For me, God, trying to think of like what I've read recently or what I've played or watched.
I know another one, but my thing is that like I keep coming up with not an ending, just like the whole thing, like Dead Space 3.
Oh, true.
I loved the first two.
I mean, I liked the gameplay of Dead Space 3. The story just was a little weak. I liked the customizing the guns. It was a bit more intensive than it was the last couple games.
I liked that aspect of it.
Like making a powerful, like all-around gun.
The audio engineering was horrible.
It was too bright.
It was too bright and it was too loud. There was no like, you never like felt like something was going to sneak up on you because like the audio cues were like tied to the spawning. And so the music would like get so loud and crazy anytime there was any enemy around. So even if you couldn't see an enemy and the music started going, you're like, oh, okay, there's something right there.
Yeah, it gave away too much.
Yeah. But it leaned a little harder into action rather than like mystery or horror.
Okay.
And I felt it kind of did a disservice to it. Like I felt like it worked in the world, but it felt less like a Dead Space. It felt more like something ancillary.
Dead Spaces. Trading places.
Yeah.
Wife swap.
Love it or list it.
Yeah.
I'm going to list that one.
Queer Eye.
Well, for
Property,
the dead guy.
Is it just Property Brothers, the game?
Well, there are the two of them.
They fuck.
I don't think they fuck.
I think they look at each other when they jerk off.
Oh, you mean the Property Brothers?
Yeah, who'd you think I was talking about?
I thought you were talking about Carver and Isaac from Dead Space.
No, they don't fuck. He has a dead family, and his girlfriend's dead.
Yeah,
and the brother moons are awake.
So all they have is each other.
Yeah, no, but like we don't need to. You don't need to ship every character. It's just to have a gay ship.
Put a little life into his dead space.
Is that the taint?
His wet dead hole.
His wet dead hole.
That's a reference to something.
Disgusting.
Trixie Mattel came up with it, not me.
Oh, I was to say, is that describing Katya? Because that makes sense.
I don't know.
It's kind of a wet dead
hole.
Fuck, dude. I'm trying to think of like what was shitty that I didn't like or that I would have changed. Oh, the fucking movie I watched, the shitty time travel movie,
Suicide Squad.
No.
Entourage.
No. It was with Owen Wilson. I bitched about it on my stream. It was this Owen Wilson movie where it was like time travel or alternate reality sort of thing where like he plays like this dad character who like he finally like snaps and like kills his boss, and then like nobody notices, and it turns out that like he like goes downstairs and because he like hid him behind the blinds, but then like when he went outside to go to the bar across the street, he looked up at the window and you just see the dead guy like smashed up against his window at the top of the building. And like he meets this like girl and like at the bar who's like, I need you to do this, like we're all in a simulation, like watch, like this isn't gonna happen. And it's like, oh, this is like a mind bender.
This is a recent movie, right?
Yeah, and like it turns out
Penelope Cruz,
yeah. And like the whole movie, like you spend a whole lot of it where they're like they basically become like drug addict degenerates with these crystals that make them see things or whatever.
Yeah.
And like the dude literally is like given up on his life. Like he's just, after he killed this guy, like lives like in like a squatting tent area off the freeway with this girl that he just met. Yeah. And like them doing this and like them getting arrested at like the roller rink or whatever. And like him slowly, like it's very, very overtly like about drug addiction and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And like what happens. And like his daughter's been trying to get in touch with him, and like she sees him at one point and he's like, you're not real, you know? Yeah. And it's like really fucked up. And then he finally at one point like takes like this other thing and it suddenly wakes him up. And it turns out that there's a bunch of like brains in a vat, like where it's this thing where like he's only been under for about like 10 minutes, but it's been a very long time, like in there, that same sort of trope. And like, he actually, in this world, the longer you stay in the world, you start to remember more, and there's like spirits of people or what have you. And like, it's a technologically future world. He made this like wonder board. It's like an etch-a-sketch thing where like whatever you say, it's like automatically doodling stuff for you, which is really cool concept. And like Penelope Cruz is winning an award for like these realities, like being able to go and experience this because they've like eliminated homelessness or whatever. But it's like, you give people empathy by making them live in the shittiest fucking world possible in this brain in a vat thing, so that they can like appreciate life and just like love and enjoy. Yeah. Because like the other thing is that like the Owen Wilson has been drawing these very specific places that he's never been to or ever seen, just like in his mind, and it's all the place from this new world. And I'm like, oh fuck, there is mixed realities. But then like it all collapses anyway, and it turned like it really ultimately just came out to, no, he was just on drugs the whole fucking time. Oh. And that like sad. It didn't really feel like any of it was real. Like it was just like that was the big switch, was that this was all kind of bullshit. And also that whole future stuff like didn't happen until like the last like, or like the, if they put the movie in 4 parts in the third part, but not the third act, but like that like 3/4 of the way through the movie we finally get to see it, and it's like not for that long and it's kind of boring. And then they just kind of like rinse it all away and he like is drug addict. But I would change the ending to be better. Okay. And not waste fucking 2.5 hours of my life.
Speaking of 2.5 hours.
Yeah, but this hasn't been wasted. Time isn't wasted when you're getting wasted. Asher Roth.
Roth IRA. Yeah. I can't believe the ice in that cup is still there.
Yeah. Chaotic Pain said they already asked 2 questions. I guess we haven't read them both yet. But I was wondering if it was okay to send physical paintings on a canvas. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. If you want to. Just don't send them to me. No. Yeah, no, absolutely. Oh, the need to know the story about the interview for this night is a sex shop, which I did. Need to know more about reading and writing fan fiction. Like, what was it about? I need details, pretty please. I just read like this Pokemon fan fiction that was like a little bit too adult for me at the time, and then I went back and read it like once I was in college, like a bit older, to like appreciate it. I didn't like that there was like rape and stuff in that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I'm very uncomfortable, but like it did a cool thing with evolution where like the Torchic evolves into Combuskin like over time. And so like it still looks more Torchic than Combuskin, and then like slowly becomes more and more like that form.
It's gradual.
It's like evolution.
Oh.
But it was really cool. That was really the only one I've actually like read with the intent of truly reading to enjoy outside of My Immortal.
I read a lot of Star Trek fan fiction primarily. That was my favorite. A little bit of Harry Potter, but that was never really my vibe.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not as big of a Potterhead as people want me to be.
Like, I love the books, but like I feel no drive to reread them. And like they were kind of enough for me. I didn't feel the need to continue. Like
I think it'd be really fun to go to Universal Studios and do Harry Potter World where they have like Diagon Alley. We should do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Not tomorrow. Let's go. We have time.
We don't need to play that game.
We do.
We need to go to.
I gotta show you the trailer for this game because it was. I didn't think I'd like it, and then as soon as I saw it, because it was on Game Pass, and I'm like looking at it, I'm like
available day one.
I was like, I should have Eric come over and we should play this because it's like a game that like it's not just text-based dating game, which like is boring.
Yeah.
Like Hateful Boyfriend.
Oh my god.
The bird game, which I just keep dying at. I don't know what happens. I just get killed. Which doesn't make sense.
You're picking the wrong boyfriend.
I know. But this one has where you date your weapons.
Okay. It's
like weapon boyfriend. And so like you still like run around and like kill shit to level up your relationship with your weapon. And there is a girl that you can date as well, which I'm like, way to like give yourself over to the straighties. Like they don't have enough.
Honestly.
They have Jessica Alba. What more do you want? I think.
Jessica Biel.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one's which.
Doesn't matter. One's in Sin City. The other was in Chuck and Larry. So like your choice.
Both named Jessica.
Yeah. I don't know what we were gonna do with that, but all right.
What's Jessica?
Was it? Jessica Alba was in Sin City.
I'm trying to think of what Jessica backwards would be.
No. No.
It would be no.
Nibmin said, if you could live in a week in any horror/thriller game, movie, TV series, whether it be animated or not, what would it be? And what are the chances of you dying within the first 4 days?
I wouldn't want to. I'd probably
die. I would die, yeah. I wouldn't want to live in any of those. That's a terrible fucking question.
Well, can I be in Prey, but just like on Earth where nothing's wrong? Like
well,
that.
It will be.
Well,
I mean, it's like I'd like to be in BioShock, but like, well, I guess maybe BioShock Infinite,
I was gonna say, if you're in
but
Columbia,
not the racist part. Columbia's cool, except for the racism and the like really fucked up shit.
You could be one of the people fighting against the racism.
That's true. The Vox Populi.
Yeah.
Except when you keep hopping dimensions, and you never get back to the original one. Which, that game's a masterpiece.
But there's always a girl.
But did you ever play the DLC, like the Burial at Sea?
Yes.
Where like Booker dies?
I never finished it, but yes.
Oh, Booker dies.
Oh, no, I know.
Or Elizabeth dies.
They both do.
Yeah. Is it nice?
Booker dies, and then, well, Elizabeth kills him.
And then you play as Elizabeth.
And she ends up like giving herself up to like the little sisters or whatever.
Yeah, she does something like she had already died, and like this is where you see that. Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. Eric, which ending is the favorite in Clue?
Oh, the last one, the one where they all did it except Mr. Green.
Oh, I've never seen it. So.
Oh, I don't know if you'd like it, but I love it. No,
yeah. It sounds like you're just watching the game get played.
No.
Better than that. Is it like Knives Out?
It inspired Knives Out in some ways.
So
it's a little less. It's less mystery than Knives Out.
Oh, okay.
It's more. Just
I need to see Knives Out.
It's more kind of.
You said it was good.
It was good. I liked it.
Other than Bezos 1, favorite song from Bo Burnham?
Welcome to the Internet.
Welcome to the Internet's really good.
Those are the only two songs.
The Kanye rant for me.
I don't think I've heard it.
I don't know how else to describe it. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the first song from Inside. I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but it's the "Put your fucking hands up, get up out of your feet." All eyes on me.
Oh,
I like that one. I sing that one a lot.
I've seen that one come up a lot when
You
I
never
listen to
listen to
over
it.
the internet or Bezos.
Kathy asked, why are there 3 L's rather than the usual 2 in Hewll? So Origin made this emote, the Hell Yeah. I actually commissioned her to make it for like the merch store and whatnot. And when she had made it, she had done it with the 3 L's because I had never really myself like typed it out on the Discord and everything. I only use 2 L's when I say it and speak it, unless it's like, hell yeah. So that's why the 3rd L is totally cool, and I'm not going to ask Ori to like change it. Yeah. It's totally fine, but like we'd still refer to it with, I can understand if you're going to like search it, it would seem weird that the ours has 3 L's, but like we use the 2 L's everywhere else. If you're going to say it with some chutzpah, then you do the extra L's.
Some moxie.
Some strawberry ganache.
Some verve.
Pistachio. Ganache.
Clementi.
Smaller Will Smith, I'm wheezing.
Small Will Smith.
Rebecca asked, if you could experience something for the first time again, what would it be?
Oh.
The beginning of Prey.
Yeah. That's such a good game. And I went back and started to play it again, and I was like, I still love this, but it's never going to be the same.
Have you seen the speedruns where like
they break it and they just like go up the thing?
They never actually like, they don't even break it. They clip out through the bathroom. So like they never break the window. They never do a second day, which I'm like, what do you mean? Because I remember doing so much shit on that first day.
Yes.
I
spent
like
rooting around and everything, grabbing everything.
It does nothing but build this. It does everything. Yes. You get exactly what you put out of it. But like in the moment, it's like, you're not getting anything of use.
No.
But you're just getting information. And like you're building this version.
Well, and you're like learning the actual like gameplay as well. It serves that purpose of like learning it in like an environment where you're not in danger or anything. You learn like, okay, everything opens in this world, like there's things, this is how I would collect it.
Which what I thought was really cool about Prey is that you and I had different experiences playing the game because I chose a female Morgan versus you choosing male. And so and like
you would like be talking about December and you'd be like, oh yeah, when she says this, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
Like who's
like there's not a woman in the game until like halfway through it. Like
and she's the one that's like outside the like, or she's across the wall in like the private quarters area. And
there's her and there's your like
she's got a whole quest line too to like do shit for.
Yeah. Well, and all the people do.
Yeah. There's so many quests in that game that you could do.
Yeah, I did all of them.
The game is so good at punishing you for trying to like GG early.
Yeah.
Like, because like in Dark Souls, for example, if you can like beat bosses at a low level, like if you can kill Dancer before you kill Vort at like with no fucking soul level or anything, like where you're weak, you have access to like Titanite chunks, Titanite slabs. You could get a +10 weapon with only killing a few bosses. Like it's nuts. And then regardless of your stats, a +10 weapon does an obscene amount of damage.
Yeah.
Prey's a lot like that, where like when I did my second playthrough before I got to where it would make my game crash. There's a certain area where like no matter what I did, whenever I went across this threshold, it just froze.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I had to just like kill it, and then if I replay it, I'm just gonna replay it from scratch. But like remembering where not hypos, that's BioShock.
Neuromods.
The neuromods, because that's what you want. You want to get all your fucking stats up. It's like they're like, cool, you can do that, but the more you do that, the more they're gonna come in. Mm-hmm. And it's like it always makes it harder regardless of where you're at in the story, which I really appreciated. That it always felt like a challenge.
Although I will say, on the second time I was playing through, the very first time I was playing through, like the movement increase. So I only did human mods.
Oh, because you went for that achievement?
Not at first. I didn't even know that was an achievement, but
because you technically did play the game like twice,
right? But the first couple,
which I fucked up.
Your first narrow mods, like the only things you can do are human ones because like you haven't gotten the psychoscope yet. Mm-hmm. And so then before you get the psychoscope and you can start learning alien powers, like December talks about the fact that January talks about the fact that he's like, like these things are fucked up and like you shouldn't use the alien powers.
Splice with them.
And he's like, I can't tell you what to do, but like you shouldn't do it. And I was like, oh, okay, well I'm not going to do it then. Because he was like, like you're going to become more like them if you keep doing it. And so I was like, he's right. I'm not going to do it. So I did it just from like a story perspective that I was like, my version of Morgan wouldn't do this.
So now that makes me want to also play it on stream and like do a human only playthrough.
It was really fun. But one of the last upgrades that I did was like the really enhanced movement ones of like jumping and running.
Oh, if you should rush those.
Those have to be first, because then on my second playthrough, when I was doing it, those were the first things I did. And I was like, this changes everything.
The game is so different.
Because I had so much fun once I did those. I'm like leaping onto like
zooming.
tops of stuff.
Well, you can
just,
get everywhere. Like,
yeah.
Like, and then
So
you realize when you start over a new file, because you finish the game and you immediately want to get back into it because you know everything. It's really good about that. And it's like, I'm crawling through molasses.
Awful. You should play Moon Crash.
I think I need to download it.
It's
I need to
really,
buy it.
I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I will.
It's a cool twist on the roguelite.
Oh, it's a new twist on an old favorite.
Exactly.
I love it. Okay. What exotic animal would you want as a pet? Lainey asks. Not
That's
Taylor's
funny.
cat.
I don't really want one. Exotic pet. What are some exotic pets?
I'd want a honey badger. I gotta pee real quick. Give me
Go
one second.
for it.
I gotta make a little elf pee. See, it's calling.
Can you have a honey badger?
I don't think so. You should.
Exotic pet. I don't know. I don't really need a pet. Chinchillas are really soft. Like, they feel real soft. So, like, that'd be kind of cool. But, yeah. I'm gonna read the next question. Well, I'm gonna see what the next question is. Oh, okay. Oh, also someone's talking about like my garbage story back in the alley. It was awful, guys. I smelled so bad. It was horrifying. And it was like, it's one of those things where it gets in your nose, and then afterwards it's like, no matter how much you washed, you're like, I still smell like garbage, don't I? The garbage left an imprint. I'm never going to be free of the garbage. That's what it felt like. Okay. Well, that question is for both of us.
Are you waiting on me? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was, so you answered the exotic one? We're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Badger.
This
Or
question,
sugar, well, I guess a sugar glider, but that's not really exotic. I still got the elf ears on.
this question is for both of us. What was the best Halloween costume you've ever worn?
9th grade, I went as a sexy sailor girl, and with a wig and everything, and like fishnets.
Work.
I was hot as fuck in a little miniskirt. It was definitely a slutty outfit, not fit for a starting to get a little pudgy 14-year-old or 15-year-old. But I did get like wolf whistled and shit by like 7th and 8th grade boys, and like because they were like, you know, cute, like they were kind of like catcalling me a bit, and I was like, "Hey boys." They were like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." They're like, "You want to hang out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you got some Snickers?" And like kids going, "Ah!" like running away because they're 12.
Yeah.
The kid from the fucking Rogue Company game earlier who was like calling it gay and saying that it was all copyright off of Overwatch and Roblox and Fortnite, also at one point said like, because he was playing as Ronan, who's fairly hot, I guess, and like when you're like skydiving in off the plane at the beginning, but you just do a straight down onto your side. It's not like Battle Bus where you choose like where you go. Like that's how it deploys.
Yeah.
Like you see their butts, and some characters have good butts, some of them have dad butts, and he's just like, man, I would let her fart in my mouth. What? This kid's talking a mile a minute, and he's just like, oh yeah, oh, the butt's nice. I'd let her fart in my mouth. And then his friend's like, that's gross. This game looks like it's like a ripoff of Overwatch. And then they started arguing about that, and I'm like, we're all just gonna let that fart in my mouth comment sit? And I'm like, this kid had to be 12.
Did you notice that long shot of Idris Elba's ass in Suicide Squad when like he's like scraping the gum off the thing and they're like walking up, and I'm like, this camera is lingering.
I mean,
it was a great shot.
When you're in the museum, don't you want to look at the good paintings a little bit longer?
Well, his ass is also like that thing where you're like, it's watching you no matter where you go across the room.
You put little googly eyes on it.
Yeah. Best Halloween costume I ever wore.
Your
Oh, I did Dante's Inferno.
yeah, I was to say, is it your Dante's Inferno one?
Yeah, no, I really
that was
like
really
that
good.
One. That one's cool.
You don't have pictures, do you?
I don't.
I'm so pissed.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the aftermath of it.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it in its glory.
That one was really good. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. All right. Odie, why are you afraid of ducks? I talked about it on my stream. I got swarmed. Also, we're like,
check the VOD.
I kind of want to like end this.
Check the VOD.
Well, it's on my YouTube.
Go to the YouTube.
There's
then.
2 VODs on there already. I'm trying to be better about doing it, but I'm lazy. So, which means I did it for 2 days. Now I'm bored.
That's fair.
But I still record every stream, and I got to swap out my Ethernet cables. What about the ducks? I already explained that. If you guys could choose what Rebecca also asked, if you could choose what you would reincarnate as in your next life, what would it be and why?
Another human.
As in, like, what? As opposed to what?
An animal.
Oh.
I don't want to be
true.
an animal.
No. What about Fluke?
Fluke?
You've never seen the movie Fluke?
No.
It's where a dad's on his way home and he, like, gets in a car accident and dies and becomes a golden retriever.
Oh.
And then, like, tries to, like, weasel his way back into his family who moved on since his death.
That sounds really
And he
sad.
connects with his son that he didn't really connect with before he died, but, like, as a dog.
I don't like that.
Yeah, now that I think about it, it's kind of fucked.
I don't like that at all.
You
No.
should?
I'd reincarnate as a person.
You think Duncan is someone just trying to connect with you?
I hope not.
Duncan's her grandfather. But, like, his
My
spirit...
grandfather's not dead.
That's the problem. They both spirits inhabit
bit of
both
a
bodies. That's
confusion.
why he looks so weird.
There you go.
He's got 2 wolves inside of him.
One is my grandfather.
And the other is a
Duncan.
wolf. Dunkin' Donuts. Cool. That's it. That's all,
Okay.
folks.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks for listening. I hope this is enjoyable for everybody. I know we still have fun doing it. We were like, do we want to do the podcast and then see the movie, or see the movie and do the podcast? Because we knew if we saw the movie, we're going to talk about
the movie.
And I'm glad we did. Because
Yeah.
I think it's the longest we've ever talked without, like, a pregnant pause for us to be like, let's look, 45 minutes. It's question time for 2 hours. It's like, oh no, we've been
it's
going
been an hour and 40 minutes, and we've already just talked about.
And then we still continued to talk, and before we even got to Quick Wit. But I don't know. Part of me is like, we need to have like consistent times, and then other part of me is like, it is what it is. It is what it is.
My problem is not that we have to have consistent times. It's that, like, I'm okay with like fairly inconsistent times. It just keeps growing though.
That's true, but we just keep having things to say.
Can't do that.
I mean, we
forever.
could stop at any moment.
At any time.
I won't.
Like this.
Can't.